Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to the ArchCast. Once again, where today I am joined by Leaflit and Ember Paradox. Welcome both of you.
Hello. How's it going? Thank you for having me on.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me today.
You're both very welcome. Can I ask for a short introduction, Bill? You know what? I'm just going to call one of you out first. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here waiting for one of you to be like, should I be? Do I go ahead? Let's start with the Leaflit.
Well, I mean, I'm Leaflit. I'm a streamer, but actually my real thing is game design. I'm a game developer. I've been working on games for a very, very long time, and currently I'm working on a tabletop RPG and just an entire world IP, making a bunch of stuff for that. Yeah, it's mostly the tabletop RPG space, and maybe we'll make some games now that we have AI.
What was the name of it? Angel Sword?
Yeah, Angel Sword RPG. It's just a new tabletop RPG. It's got all new combat systems. We basically made the game that we wanted to do. We've been long-time players of Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, things like Double Cross, and we wanted to make our own version. And we really like combat. We really like the combat feeling very visceral, very lots of options, very interactive. So we kind of just made our own system around that, and it's got over 180 classes right now. We've got a lot of lore stuff coming out for it, and we've got novels. We've got it's got its own website that has a little visual novel adventure mode, and there's a lot to explore. And the big product that we have right now is called the Moraine Expedition, or it's 200 players or something like that. There's so much stuff. I'm doing the lore database for it right now, and it's just massive. It's over 1 million posts. I'm dealing with it over on the back end, and thank God I have AI, because otherwise it would be literally impossible for a small team to do this kind of stuff. But all of the designs are handmade in it. I don't. A lot of the lore is handmade as well. The key stuff.
Awesome. Yep. Awesome. I'd like to talk a bit more about that, because that sounds very interesting. But first,
sure, I'd love to.
Ember, all introduction from you too, please.
Hi, thank you. So I am Ember Paradox. I'm a streamer over on Twitch and Kick. I do not have quite as lauded of a resume as Leaflit does, but who has such an amazing resume as Leaflit? I've basically just been streaming for the last couple of years simply because I wanted to jump into it. I'd seen other VTubers. It looked like it was a good time, and so I decided to throw myself into it. And apparently, I do a pretty decent job of it. So I've just for the last 2 years, I do React content, I do games, I talk about social commentary issues, and that kind of comprises what I do with the stream. Outside of stream, I have my community that I take care of, but that's kind of what it is that I do. I yap. I am a yapper, and I yap all day.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the both of you.
Fire is the answer.
Thank you.
And we have a couple of interesting things today, but we do have to start with probably. Okay, this is a very interesting case with the Sheila Hendricks thing, because on one hand, this is a shocking verdict that she's found guilty of public disorderly conduct, I think, and yet also simultaneously it was eminently predictable that this was going to happen.
Jeez. So I only know about this very little, the actual story. So I think, could you explain what happened? That, as far as I know, she got into a confrontation with a kid and then used a slur, and that's it?
Yes, so I have to be rather careful on YouTube what sources I pull up.
I can guess the slur. I can guess.
Yeah.
But yes, that pretty much sums it up, as she was at a playground with her own child. She alleges that a diverse child started rummaging through her bag and stealing her kids' toys. She then called the child a slur, and the person who come up to film her out of there, calling her out for her racist ways, and she called him a slur too. And I mean, that was all that happened. Nothing else happened. Nobody was assaulted. Nobody suffered any injuries. Nothing was stolen, etc. It was literally just slurs in public.
So that's it. Like what? So she was found.
There was. I've heard a couple things in regards to the two individuals that are the quote unquote victims. One, I have heard the child being described as autistic. Big time X to doubt about that, because autism is a very serious hot button for me. So they're classifying the child as autistic. Also, I believe there's been reports that I do not know the rationale why, but supposedly the child was wearing a police ankle monitor as well. I haven't had opportunity to dig into that to substantiate it or understand the reasons why behind it, but there is that possibly may be true. And then as far as the cameraman goes, from everything that I've heard, the cameraman actually was following this woman around and demanding that she call him the slur. So that this was she called the grown man who has his own dark past, called him after he was just following her around, filming her, demanding. By the way, he is he is from, shall we say, a sub-Saharan country. Was demanding that she call him the slur, which eventually she did because he was harassing her so much. And this man, it has come out that there's no mincing words. He is a predator. He has been charged and convicted of predatory crimes against children in the past. That is who the quote unquote victim is here in regards to this case.
Well, in defense of the cameraman, the allegations against him have not been proven, so we cannot say that he has been convicted.
Mm.
That is one case. He had two.
I believe they haven't convicted him of either, unless the other one is currently ongoing.
Was it neither they did? Okay.
Yes, because
If
Rochester.
I can ask, where did this happen?
Was it Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Really? And he went, and the woman. I mean, so what was the result of the case? I suppose is my question.
Well, that's where the interesting thing came. So,
okay,
she wasn't actually reported by the man in question. Apparently, the Rochester Police Department received a series of complaints about the video that amounted to accusing her of a public disorderly conduct. So she was basically accused by the internet. The police then decided to go ahead with that and bring her in.
Jeez.
And this is a fairly, simplistic case as well, like video evidence, all of that. The only real question is whether or not this was disorderly conduct. The jury then deliberated for 8 hours to come to a conclusion on this, which was that she was found innocent on one count, which was, I believe, the grievous disorderly conduct, like encouraging disorderly conduct, but she was found guilty of acting disorderly, which is why she was given a suspended sentence with, I think it was 200 hours of civil service time and then a $1,000 fine, instead of the 90 days in jail that the prosecution asked for.
What in the hell? So, all she did, correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I only know about this case very, very, surface level. I haven't looked into it myself. I've only heard about it. So let me get this straight. Is this confirmed that the kid tried to steal her stuff? Or was going through her stuff?
We do not know.
We don't know. So okay. So whatever, something happened. She called the kid, a slur. And then the adult came in to the picture to get mad at her for saying the slur, and then she called them the slur, and then she got disorderly conduct?
Yes, and as Ember also mentioned, there's also the possibility that the man had been following her and trying to antagonize her into saying the slur as well.
What the? But even
Yeah, that actually
how is
that
that
actually
even
came
illegal?
from her defense attorney.
How is that even illegal? Like, she doesn't seem like she was aggressing in this situation at all. I mean, like how is that disorderly conduct when she's claiming, or again, like even if they have no evidence? I mean, even even in the second case with the phone, this person's clearly in her face. They could retreat at any time. They could end this at any time. But they were getting in her face about it. And then she called them a slur. Whatever, we don't know what happened in the first one, right? But even then, it's like she said a slur. Like, so what, right? Like, how is that
Exactly.
Well,
like, I'm confused.
the reason
like,
for that.
Sorry, go ahead. Mhm.
America doesn't have hate speech laws in the same case as Europe, but you still do have hate speech laws, and that is disorderly conduct. Disorderly conduct is a very broad term that includes basically anything and everything that could be seen as disruptive to public life. So anything from fighting to shouting to playing loud music or using, quote, obscene language in the public space. And this was apparently obscene language.
So, like, they
Yeah, the
got
thing with-
her
yeah.
guilty, and they're basically saying that they try to get her for 90 days for, like, first offense of this.
Yes,
Like,
90
they didn't
days.
even, what in the hell is that? Like how? First off, my question is, how did the defense even lose here?
Wow.
With free speech, with First Amendment, like how did they even lose
Yeah.
this?
From what I've seen in regards to the defense, her defense attorney actually made a public statement. Arch, if you want, I can link you the Twitter post with the video. It's like an 8-minute video of him talking with reporters outside of the courthouse after the conclusion of the police. And from the sound of it, the way the court itself was operating was doing so in a way specifically designed to basically screw her over, for lack of a better term. Like the way the judge conducted herself, the way that they handled with like witness testimony, how when they brought up the guy who was, I believe it was the gentleman who did the filming, where when the prosecution asked questions, the guy was able to understand it perfectly. When the guy had spoken to police, they can understand perfectly. But when the defense attorney was asking this person questions, every question the person was going, I do not understand, acting like he could not speak the language. So it sounds like everything from the witnesses to the court itself to the judge itself were all basically turned against this woman. And the defense attorney was even saying that it felt like he was fighting two battles. It felt like he was fighting a battle with the court, and he was fighting a battle with the judge, and he was also fighting a battle with the prosecuting attorney. And so from the sound of it, every aspect of this case was just stacked against her. And Arch, if you wanted to, I just popped the link into the chat, which has the video of the defense attorney speaking.
Yep. No.
Surely they appeal this, right? In some way. Like, there's no way.
Absolutely, they will.
Possibly, but okay. So what's basically happened here? Because I do have a bit of that too. Why didn't that show? Come now, YouTube or Twitter. There we go. Right.
I just feel like it's impossible for this to hold up all the way, like through the courts. It just seems not possible.
Possibly.
Agreed. This feels like an absolute trampling of the First Amendment rights.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, the problem there is, so the First Amendment has all parts of the Constitution these days open to debate / negotiation with the Supreme Court, unfortunately. And the court case here was a very, very poor one, because the judge herself, apparently, she had been instructing the jurors on implicit bias. which is wonderful.
What the hell?
She indicated the N-word could provoke a violent reaction thereby, and I do love this entire part because this is such classic modern-day liberalism. It's like, well, you see, black people can't control themselves in front of this word, and therefore, they become violent. Like, we are treating them as if they are some form of animal, basically. Like, if you stare it in the eyes, it attacks. Like, retarded.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Well, it's another point of like could be considered maybe nitpicking or fine distinction is like this person is from Somalia. He's a Somalian immigrant. I believe maybe a fairly recent immigrant as well. The word in question is used to describe African Americans. This person coming from Somalia wouldn't have the same cultural context to be offended like African Americans were. His ancestors still were in Somalia. They are still in Somalia. So it would have like the use of the slur in and of itself is referencing, the African slave trade in colonial America. This person was never a part of it. So why is he being offended? It should have absolutely no bearing on him because he's not an African American. He's a Somalian. So the word would have zero context for him.
Well, for power.
The thing that's crazy about this is if this is true, if they're saying, let's take what their logic to its like final conclusion, right? So if they say that these people they can't handle the First Amendment, and that if somebody says a thing, it sets them off and makes them provoke a violent reaction or whatever, then we can't have these people in civilized society. So like even by their own racism basically is working against them, because that is the logical conclusion of it, is these people cannot exist in our society, in a society with the First Amendment. They're incompatible and they need to go home. That's what it is. That's what they're saying. It's not what I'm saying. That's what they're saying. It
kind of goes, yeah. It kind of goes even a little bit further, because like I've made this point before and I will continue to make it, is if they are going to say that the N-word is an egregious slur and is now something that can be used to charge someone with a crime, cool. I want every single police department in the country to drive down to the ghetto and the inner cities with a heavy black gangbanger population. And every single time one of those individuals says the N-word, because they use it in ghettos and inner cities and gang culture, they use that word like it is a comma. Then every time they say it, put bracelets on them and charge them with disorderly conduct. I mean, if it's good for the goose, why not? That's like, this is where the problem is they're taking this word that, like, sure, you want to say it's offensive, fine. But if you're going to say we can charge you with a crime for uttering this word, then what about the tens or hundreds of thousands of people in these ghettos that frequently use this word in every other sentence? All of these hip hop artists that constantly put these words into their music and get hundreds or millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for their music. Why are they not being charged? Yet this white woman is being charged, literally, she's being charged literally because of the color of her skin. Because she is white, she said a word that only basically black people are allowed to say. So we're now gatekeeping words on a level of criminal justice. We're gatekeeping, and that is just a flagrant violation of civil rights.
Well, what this isn't the word. That's the thing, of course. The word isn't illegal. White people using it is illegal. This is a racial crime. She made a crime against her betters. The Somalis are higher on the justice system's ladder than white people. It's the only possible interpretation you can come away with.
These guys don't understand that what they're doing, these actions, the way that they treat these situations, is what is going to cause actual racism. This is what's going to cause the actual racial divide that they claim that they want to get away from.
Oh yeah, Because it's now demonstrable. Like, there's a two-tier justice
Yes.
system. There's one justice for white people. There's one justice for everybody else.
And tell you what, if I were white, I would say, well, it's very clear that these people hate us, and so if I gotta choose a team, I choose my team. Let's just all be racist then, right? Like that's how I would feel, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they create this situation.
I would say what you were just referencing. I think we're already seeing the start of that path. I think it started back when you hear the expression "black fatigue." We've been seeing that online for months and months and months now, and I think the whole thing about with segregated racism or things like this causing an increase in racism, I think we're already there. I think it's just we're at that sort of like low simmer. We haven't hit the boiling point there, but you can already see it on the rise in how people view situations like this. They look at this, they instantly go, yeah, they're only doing this because she's white. Look at the situation with the Carmelo Anthony trial, the aftermath of that. Look at the outright vomited racism occurring outside the courtroom after the verdict and the sentencing. How you had people out there that were literally saying white people should be killed. You had Black Panthers out there and Black Panther adjacent people standing outside the courtroom, literally saying white people could be killed. There was social media posts en masse of Black people saying more white people should be killed. This should only be the start. So yeah, I'd say we are already there with racism being on the rise.
Yeah, it's indisputable at this point, and that was exactly what happened here as well. So the judge herself, this was a jury trial, so the judge only could influence things, and she is a classic liberal judge. History of letting off sex offenders, the usual, I mean, just like the slippery slope turned out to not be a fallacy, but rather simply truth, judging a book by its cover is also becoming more and more fucking valid.
Yeah, I mean, this is just like demonstrably true. I know a lot of people who are very, very, very tolerant people, love peace, tolerance, and they just see this constant hatred towards their people, towards white people, men, straight people, Christians. You see this constant hatred, and it's really turned a lot of people to being like, yeah, I care about diversity, I care about everybody being equal. To listen, these people fucking hate us, so you know what, I fucking hate them too, and it's time for us to have our own country, and you guys need to get the hell out of here. I've seen this happen to a lot of people, and I know a lot of people have this sentiment, because it's just like, listen, like they're so obviously against us, they're so clearly obviously racist. I'm not going to take it lying down because I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. My kids don't deserve it. My family doesn't deserve it. We haven't done anything wrong. And if this is the game that they want to play, then let's fucking play it. Let's win. And I think it's awful, really. It's just such a fucking terrible situation, all of this.
And I guarantee this was a big part of the debate on the back end, because this was a jury trial, which, I mean, it was their only hope, really, for the defense to do a jury trial. Because this woman, oh boy, yeah, it would not have ended with civil service. But again, like I said, they debated this for 8 hours. Which means that there were probably some sensible people in there going like, listen, this is ridiculous. Okay, maybe she acted out of hand, etc., some mild judgment, maybe, but there was a screaming Karen in there, I guarantee you, who saw this as her moment to truly shine and lecture the unknowing on racism that just spent literally 8 fucking hours refusing to change her verdict until finally everybody else caved, basically.
Yeah.
It's
Terrible.
very likely, and I'm guessing you might have also had some other, because you have to remember, as you point out at the beginning of this, is that the charge was, and here's where they're going to deliberately try and muddy the waters. The charge being disorderly conduct, and as you pointed out, disorderly conduct. Now, granted, the verbiage may differ from state to state, but generally speaking, disorderly conduct is a very wide net catch-all that is effectively used by police for a breach of the peace. If someone says you have disturbed my peace, then the police, again, using their own, personal judgment, police officers have discretion when it comes to these kinds of charges. But the police can, effectively speaking, when it comes to disorderly conduct, if the police are called on a situation, 9 times out of 10, if the police officer wants to be a real dick or a real bitch, depending upon the police officer, they can probably facilitate a charge of disorderly conduct for, I would gather, roughly 99% of the cases that they can go on. Now, they don't, because the vast majority of police officers have discretion, and the vast majority of police officers look at a situation, they go, okay, you guys are being idiots. Both of you just shut the hell up, go about your separate ways, stop being morons. But then you do, but it's still a charge that can be facilitated to a catch-all. So generally, what I think probably occurred is that in this particular instance, she wasn't charged because of the N. I think that is a bit of a misnomer. She wasn't necessarily being charged for the N-word, but what's happening is that the guy was saying that because she yelled the N-word and was like saying it in perhaps maybe in an aggressive way, whatever characteristic he put it to, then that would fit into that disorderly conduct. And therein lies where you could start having a discussion of, okay, we have got this incredibly broad-stroked law on the books for practically every state. Maybe we need to start looking into keeping a incredibly broad stroke law like this, where you could literally arrest probably anybody for anything under this auspice. Now, of course, that gets into the weeds of of legalities and changing of laws and things like that.
Well, here's the thing, right? Disorderly conduct, it is a very broad law that is intended to be very broad, because this is a uniquely Western civilized law, a gentleman society law. That is what disorderly conduct is supposed to be used for. It basically says, don't be loud in public, don't be disruptive, play loud music, etc. And as you mentioned, the police can then be called and simply tell the person to pipe down or go somewhere else. This is a civilized law for a civilized society that is now being blatantly abused and misused. Because, again, you mentioned, they don't charge her for the uses of the N-word. That is correct. But it is, of course, this is an excuse to charge her for the use of the N-word. As if this was just two people yelling at each other in the park, there's no way this would go to a court case. The police might show up and go okay, both of you, calm the fuck down, go home. And
we need game designers. We need game designers in the government to make these laws, because they don't understand human nature, and people will always try to cheat, and they will always try to get around the rules in order to get their intended result. And they need game designers to understand the abuses in the system and patch them out.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because no system is perfect, and laws in particular are very difficult to handle, which is why the majority of Western laws are basically built on the assumption that we can be reasonable gentlemen about it. And that worked very well when society was made up of reasonable gentlemen. However,
in modern day,
yes. As again, this is obviously an abuse. And again, she wasn't even reported by the man in question. This was an entirely internet outrage crime. And in no normal the universe should this go to court. And whether or not she appeals is an interesting question, because on the one hand, this is something that probably should be elevated up the ladder to create a proper precedent against it. But in the US judiciary, which is so highly politicized, and of course there's also the option that the judiciary simply refuses her appeal as well, as they do have the power to do that in certain circumstances. But she, in essence, rolled the dice on a jury trial, hoping she'd get 6 normal individuals, and she ended up getting at least one screaming Karen. And 200 hours of civic conduct, $1,000 fine is all ridiculous for what she did. But it might be the best she's gonna get.
At this point, it might be a matter of principle. Do you let because I'm thinking she's got, if I remember correctly, everybody involved in this has a GoFundMe. The kid's family has a GoFundMe.
Yep.
The smaller man who videotaped has a GoFundMe. I believe she may have a GoFundMe too. And at this point, I think it's just simply a matter of principle that you have to appeal it, because if you don't, this is going to already this has set a tone, because what everybody is seeing the N-word usage. That has been the highlight of this case. And so what you're going to see now is that you're going to see a lot of the leftists, you're going to see a lot of the woke people, the hive mind people are going to see this case because it has received such high attention, and they're going to go, oh, so I can do this too. So if I'm in public and I see, let's be honest here, a white person, and I get them to act out, then I can call the police and have them arrested for disorderly conduct, because look, there is now a legal precedent in the court for this. Or if, say, a white person says a slur at a non-white person, they're going to see this, go, oh, okay, I can actually get them in court because there was a conviction for this. And it, whether or not it's a different state or not, they're still going to see this happen because of the high profile nature of the case. And in blue states where there's a lot of, okay, we hate white people, we want to abolish ICE, all that good stuff, the police there may actually facilitate disorderly conduct arrests for literally just using bad language. And so we may potentially be seeing an escalation of these types of cases in court. Well, they will call the police, they will have them arrested, they will take them to court. And even to your point, what you were saying, Arch, about how the photographer did not even call the police, that the internet did this, that is also on the rise as well. There was a case several months back, I forget exactly the state. For some reason, I think it's Kentucky, but I could be mistaken about that, where a man posted a Trump meme. And it was like pretty benign. It was something like, we just have to get over it. I think it was in regards, can't remember if he was referencing the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And after the mourning period, he was, it was a meme about, we have to just like get past this and keep going. And he posted this meme on Facebook, and there were people that saw that meme that actually took it to the next level and claimed this is a threat to our schools. That's what it was. I think it was in reference to the Carmelo Anthony case, but he did not live in the same state as Carmelo Anthony. But he had a school of the same name that Carmelo Anthony attended in his state near him. And the parents all like flipped their shit and said, he's making a threat about our school because they happen to share the same name, and ended up actually getting arrested, actually ended up spending like 30 days in jail waiting for bond. So what you were saying about the internet facilitating charges against people, that also is something that is scarily on the rise and that we need to be really worried about.
Mm-hmm. And this is going to be a lot more of as well, because what you mentioned as well, creating a precedence for this is also a danger, as we are seeing right now a quite rapid switch in cultural power as the progressive. I mean, the thing is as well, like right now they need the courts to get you cancelled for using the N-word. 10 years ago, they didn't need the courts. This is simply a sign yet again of their slipping institutional and cultural power. As that continues to slip, these people will get more and more desperate, and they will go to further and further extremes. And we must still remember that whilst the culture is shifting, and that will eventually affect politics and institutions, there are still a lot of people in these institutions that have a vested political interest in abusing their power. Like the judge here was a beautiful example of that. I believe there was even an allegation, I think this was made by the defense attorney, that the gentleman in question, the man filming, had claimed to not have a GoFundMe when he, of course, had, and there's evidence of this on the internet. And the judge had not allowed the defense attorney to prove that he was lying by ruling that this was not relevant to the case. Which, of course, again, nonsense, because it proves that the man is a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Not only just a liar, but that also he also has something of a vested interest in this case. It even goes beyond the liar things. He is using this case as a means of enriching himself, and therefore could color any, to coin a phrase, any testimony that he might provide while on the stand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think people understand. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, this is why I said to begin with that this is both a shocking verdict, because it's nonsense, and also eminently predictable. Because the moment this started, I predicted they're going to get her for disorderly conduct, and she is going to be convicted. Because this is exactly the kind of people who love to abuse their power to get this stuff happening, and who will feel fucking fantastic about themselves whilst doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I mean. Like, these people don't understand the second, third order effects of this decision, and like what that means for it's gonna bring out a lot of people that want to abuse this. And again, it's a misunderstanding of human nature. It's really annoying to me because it's so basic and obvious.
It is basic and obvious, but when your entire ideology is based on rejecting what is logical and obvious, well. And this really, you could spin this off into a whole other debate about the legal system, not just in the US, but in the world. Like, judges are obviously compromised. Their judgment cannot be trusted. The only reason we even have judges is because once upon a time, of course, a judge was supposed to be a morally upstanding individual. The most morally upstanding individual, in fact. And a lot of the validity of the judgment came from the simple fact that whoever was passing it down was expected to be a genuine beacon of moral virtue, unlike today. And the idea of jury trial was that you'd be judged by a jury of your peers, your equals, who would understand your own plight, your misgivings, your beliefs, and the situation at large. The problem is, yet again, though, that we are now in a position where your peers might be fucking crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Like this brings up to a whole existential questioning where can jury, and I'm getting a little bit into the weeds on this one, but it brings up the question of, can jury trials even still work in current day, given how absolutely polarized things have become? Is it even possible these days to have a legitimate jury of your peers anymore? And I would postulate that it has become exceedingly difficult to attain that.
Yeah. Especially in a case like this, which is surrounding... Because, again, if you were judging just by the law, then obviously this is not a case. This is not truly disorderly conduct. It's already over. Nobody was hurt, etc. Screw it. Throw it out of court. This obviously became a moral court here, judging the morality of the action of using the N-word specifically in public against a Somali man. At which point, again, you're not being judged by the law. This is not a legal question. This is a moral question.
Are you ready to rut this yellow mare's fluttery buttery butt?
You're very correct there. And also, we something I was just thinking about was the aftermath to this. We now have a case where, while it was done under the auspice of disorderly conduct, what are the odds that the Minnesota legislature, particularly the Democrats, are now going to start working on tabling laws for the state for, for criminalizing speech against non-whites in what would be considered quote unquote slanderous. We've seen other states in question. I forget which state it is, escapes my memory at the moment, but we are seeing more states that are starting to develop quote unquote Islamophobic laws. And what are the odds that the legislature in Minnesota is now going to take the results of this case and go, oh, okay, so there's a discourse online, or there's a debate online that this was not actually disorderly conduct, that nothing happened here. So maybe we need to table a law where calling a black person the N-word is now becoming criminalized, a la the quote unquote Islamophobic law. Or there was one I forget what it was, what the law or the promise or whatever it was in regards to East Indian people, like, oh, like we're going to combat racism against East Indians. That was in another state recently. It's like we're going to see like I fear we're going to see a domino effect to a degree as a result of this case, because of the discourse, because of the debate, because of basically the issue that people are taking with the result of it.
Well, as Leaflit actually pointed out, this will see a genuine rise in racism.
Yep.
Undoubtedly so, because people don't want to be second-class citizens in their own country.
Yep. I totally agree. Like, and it's ridiculous that they're doing this, and it's only going to drive division further.
And that is probably the only way this is going to go. It's probably the only way out of it. To simply just embrace that and go with it, because I don't know if there's any other way. I don't know. The only way is if we actually started, because there is a possibility. Our legal system is supposed to be set up to be colorblind. Obviously, we are not supposed to judge people based on the color of their skin, etc. And this was one of the founding values of the US and the modern Western legal system. But it's obviously failed. We are judging people on the color of their skin because it is a crime to do things if you are white, specifically. And with the current legal system that is so full of judgment and interpretation, I don't know if there's a way to actually get back to that legal system, which means I'm not sure there's a way to return to a system where people are actually equal. Because again, right now, there is no doubt about it. White people in America, in the West in general, are second-class citizens.
You're not wrong about that. And what I'm seeing a little bit more, we've been seeing it with like one or two recent Hollywood releases and Leaf. This is kind of, a question for you because it's more to your wheelhouses. There has been more and more talk, humorous and otherwise, about essentially replacing the judges with AI. Now, of course, I can already see a whole host of issues with doing that. Leaf, I'm really curious. What's your thought on some of these people that are saying we should just replace the judges with AI?
I don't know if it would solve the problem, because AI would still be promptable. Like, the weights of the AI would still be by a person, who can put their thumb on the lever. So I don't think it'd actually solve anything, because it would just redirect it to like giving the person who is making the bad judgment a cover, right? Because now you would have the layer of the AI protecting them. They could say, well, the AI did that, right? But it's actually the person behind the AI that's actually making the decision, correct? Because if you're an AI user, you know this, that you can bias an AI quite the best way to explain this to people that don't know about AI is that LLMs are basically the total of all humanity. So they've read everything on the internet. That's what they know. That's what they're trained off of. Every single thing written on the internet. So when you ask an AI a question, it is, the average or possibly a random person on this earth So if you ask it a question like, how many genders are there, AI? Well, what kind of person are you asking, right? Are you asking a biologist? Are you asking a woke person, right? They're going to give two completely different answers. And depending on which persona the AI has taken at that moment, that's the answer that you're going to get. Now, you can mitigate this by actually prompting the AI and shaping its personality and who it is. And this is like, this is like a role context AI where you context prompting where you tell the AI, this is who you are. This is what you operate under. These are the rules you operate under. Now give me an answer, right? But the thing is because that's possible, it is possible for a human being behind the judge AI to actually fuck with the weights. So it wouldn't solve anything. It would just add a layer of protection for the people that are trying to do this in a nefarious way. Because no matter what, someone is going to have control of that, right?
Yes. And that is obviously the problem behind it. Now, personally, I am all for AI fucking judges, so long as they are zealous motherfuckers. Like, I am sick and tired of interpretive law. I want the literal fucking law again. Just a little robot that goes like, right, well, what did you do? Well, I sold drugs, but it's my first offense. Okay, jail 15 years. What? That's harsh. No, look here, the book says.
It might work if it was open source. Right, like if like everybody could audit the actual, if everyone could see the logic, because what happens is AI actually works through the logic. It doesn't just like shit out an answer. Like the current LLMs basically will think, they'll ponder, just like people. They'll be like, this is well, this and this, and that means this, and then they'll go through all that. And if that was public, and maybe the actual code of it was open source, and we could actually see, okay, it makes sense how it came to that thing that's, as transparent as possible, it might work under that case, possibly. But if we can't do that, then it won't work.
Is obviously this is a pie in the sky dream at the moment. There's too many variables, there's too many personal effects, etc. It's not going to work. But because again, like I mentioned, the ideal justice system is simply one in which everyone operates as an honorable individual. And in that case, the majority of legal cases will either be misunderstandings or legitimate, illegal activity. The problem is right now, nobody's acting like an honest individual. Everyone's out for themselves. We have no honest judges. We have politicians with robes. In that world, I mean, the only thing you would want that would be able to solve it is actually 100% neutral arbiter. And interestingly, if you did have an open source system and you could see its programming, and you actually did program it with not the modern day, but the traditional liberal worldview of color blindness, you would solve some of these issues, at the very least when it comes to the activist judges. But again, AI isn't going to work. It's not, technology isn't there yet. What would be great, though, and I've argued this so many times.
I think if you had if a person was a actual good actor, and you could 100% have trust in that person to make that AI, you totally could do it right now. Right now, like I could do it right now. Like me personally, I would just be like, here's the law. Look at the law. Cut out all emotion. I could literally make this bot right now myself.
What I want is fear. Just massive amounts of overwhelming fear. Because, okay, right now, judges, there's
not
no
wrong.
Consequence at all. None whatsoever. Like, this woman can judge somebody to death. I don't know if Minnesota has a death penalty, probably not. But even if she did, no consequence whatsoever. She could throw a person in jail for God only knows how many years, blatantly misuse the law, no consequences. This was a good idea when there was the understanding that people make mistakes, and that would just be a genuine mistake. Now, I mean, again, this woman operates on far left-wing biases, and she's happy to do so. There needs to be a system of consequences for judges that actually holds them responsible for their judgments. I remember a while ago, I think it was ICE that arrested a judge for deliberately allowing illegal aliens to exit her courthouse through a door that ICE didn't have eyes on, and they arrested the judge for that. And people were like, oh my God, Nazi Germany, we're arresting judges. No, fuck that. Arrest that person.
I agree.
Yes, she literally tried to aid in the escape of an illegal immigrant. That is precisely what she did. That's why she got arrested. And it was I'm trying to remember the case because it was several months ago. I think it was more than simply just letting the person leave out of a door that ICE didn't have access to. I think she actually tried to facilitate a full-on escape from the courthouse of this illegal immigrant. And thankfully, ICE is good at their jobs. Not only did they get the illegal immigrant that they were there to deport, but then they also snapped up the judge too. And of course, the judge was whining and crying about that thing.
Yes. Because judges aren't fucking sacred. There were no extent are they sacred. Not in the current world. There needs to be consequences. You get something wrong one time, okay, sure, mistakes happen. One strike. That strike lasts for like 2 years or something. Twice, okay. Now there's the board of your peers that looks into your record and see if you fucked up more times. 3 times, you just lose your job. You can never work as a judge again. Permanent stain on your record. You were given trust as an honorable individual. You abused it. And in extreme cases, I want them to suffer the exact same judgment they handed down erroneously.
You know what's the problem with this?
I will actually go one further.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ember.
I'll be real brief and then you can hear your thought. I'll go one further. Do that not even with the judges. Do that with the prosecutors too, because they are just as guilty of just mothballing cases or just dropping cases because it would be too hard to prosecute. So I think what you were just saying, Arch, I think that also should be applied to prosecuting attorneys also.
Are you ready to wreck this yellow mare's fluttery buttery butt?
Leaflit, you were going to say something?
I forgot. I forgot.
You
Give me a
forgot.
second.
Sorry, Leaf.
No. Oh, actually, I remember kind of. Well, I was going to say the problem with this whole thing in general, and this also just deals with politicians, is kind of a bigger problem, is that the people that should be in these positions, the people that should be judges, the people that should be politicians, people that should be in these positions of power don't want to do it. And so you end up in a situation where the people who end up in these positions are the people that want the power. And you don't want those people in power. So it's the entire system itself is kind of dangerous, to be honest. By design. I mean, I don't know how you work around that, to be honest.
Well, again, our entire system was based on the assumption of good faith, and we just don't have it anymore.
Yeah, it happened when we kind of, especially America, we don't really have a shared goal anymore, right? As a country. Before, we all had a shared goal as a country. You might disagree on a little bit of something, right? You might disagree on something. You might agree on this thing. And then, we find ways to reconcile that. But we don't even agree on the goal anymore as a country, right? And, one thing that really points to this is that, the furthest person who still sort of agrees with the goal, but not really, would be Destiny, and he's kicked out. Right? Destiny sort of agrees with America and wants America to kind of, do well relatively. Obviously I disagree with him on every single fucking method that he stands for. I just think he's wrong, but I don't actually think he's that. He's not as nefarious as Hassan. Right, and yet Hassan is the face. It's not Destiny. Destiny is excommunicado, right? So it's just really, we don't agree on anything anymore. The right and left, we don't even agree on what America should be. So obviously that creates a situation, like you said, where we don't live in that society anymore, where we trust anyone that is actually handing down these judgments to us.
Mm-hmm. That's a very difficult situation to unravel, frankly, now that we've gotten as far as we have. Yep. No, it's harsh. And it's not just America. In fact, it's worse in a lot of else of the world. There was a wonderful example from recently where, as we talked about, white second-class citizens, and it's definitely the progressive ladder, where a singer, Sophia Strott, asked white men to go to the back of the audience. called 100-200 times, filmed, go back to the audience, no need for subtlety, I'm just being racist and sexist against you, go to the back, bring the blacks and the browns and the women up to the front. And she was found innocent of discrimination because, well, this was free speech.
Ridiculous. Ridiculously racist, obviously. They hate white people.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is awful.
That's been the prevailing thing throughout Western society. This is what we've been seeing. We've been seeing an outright increase in anti-white propaganda, anti-white legal leanings, where from the criminality standpoint, we saw it with with Henry Nowak in the UK, where if you are white, you are automatically classified as the bad guy, no matter what call comes in. If one party is white and one party is black, the white person is instantaneously viewed as the bad guy. We are seeing it throughout all of Western world, honestly. It's not just US, it's not just the UK, it's not just, as we see in Belgium, it's literally any Western civilization is essentially demonizing white people.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, what do white people have to do? What position could they possibly have at this point? It's, yes, master, I agree, or I'm sick of this. I don't deserve this. My family doesn't deserve this. My children, my family, my friends who are white, we don't deserve this. We had nothing to do with this. We're not like this. But you know what? If it's gonna be a race war, I choose my people, and you guys can all fucking you can all fuck off, basically. And that's, I think, what we're gonna be headed towards if they keep doing this.
And Leaf, you're not wrong, because what I see happening is you're going to have a lot of people. Like I've said before that, we hear in like social media and news media, we hear the two extremes the most these days. We hear the extreme left and we hear the extreme right most. And once upon a time, there used to be a wide swath of gray in the middle, which is where the majority of people would reside. Is they just people that are more centrist, that they just I just want to live my life. I don't want to deal with this extremist bullshit. But unfortunately, I think that wide swath is shrinking more and more by the day. And pretty soon, unfortunately, people that did have the mindset of listen, I don't want to be involved in this bullshit. I just want to live my life peacefully with myself, with my family. We just want to have a good life. We don't want to cause trouble. We don't want to be involved in trouble. And pretty soon, a lot of these people in this middle swath of I don't want to be involved are going to be dragged kicking and screaming into it, because either they're going to be victimized by one of these extremes or they're going to get pulled into it by one of these extremes. I feel bad, and I feel really bad for those people that just want to live a peaceful life, but we are headed in that direction where if you don't pick a side, then you're going to be viewed as an enemy, either by one side or the other. And it's going to be like that whole thing is well, in the case of America, it's well, whose side you're on? It's well, I'm an American, and the question will be, cool, which American are you? And you're not going to have a good answer, and God only knows what might happen after that. It's a really, really sad situation that the world is in right now with this, where you're getting forced to pick a side. You can't just live your life. You can't just, be, live don't know, I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to be peaceful. I want to help people. I want to do well for myself. You're almost not, it's almost getting to the point where you're not going to be allowed to live that life anymore. And honestly, I find that really, really sad.
Yes, what kind of American are you? The only
exactly.
good
That's
thing
what I was thinking
to come out of that fucking movie. God, that was such a disappointing movie. I was really looking forward to it too. I was watching it, I was seeing all of the cool shit happening. I was like, oh god, I can't wait to hear all the lore about how all of this fucking happened. And then just, oh, we're not going to tell it to you.
Yeah, okay. I did not see this move myself, but I heard the same thing. It was a whole lot of nothing, and it was just a great deal of existentialism that had nothing to do with why did the country split like this? Well, fuck you. That's why enjoy our existentialism.
Yeah, it's the usual fucking
That's
like,
a
oh,
question.
look,
Fire is
conflict
the
bad.
answer.
Like, oh, you don't say. Very avant-garde.
Kind of like Disclosure Day.
It was a silly movie, but it's a depressing topic all around. Nobody really knows how we're going to get out of it. Which is why we'll do some super chats, and then we'll segue into something completely different.
Well, you mean get out of like this situation?
Well, yes, the situation at large.
Well, there's really it's a long-term play. It's first off, we have to do what we can to prevent more people from immigrating here, especially ones that are not that do not have American values. They're not compatible at all with our country. Should not be here. First off, and second off, you gotta just work on yourself and your family, and have kids and claim the future, because these people, they don't really make anything, so they're kind of cooked. Like in the long term, if you're thinking of it in long term, right? Like obviously it's going to be a pain in the next couple decades, right? But in terms of long term, like we could out tech these people and just beat them. They'd be irrelevant as long as we don't let them take us over, and they know that too. They're on a ticking time clock. This is why they hate AI so much. By the way, this is like it's a perfect acceleration to basically cucking them out of history, and I'm all for it. I can't wait.
Raven for €100. Thank you very much, sir. Hail Archley, hope you've been well, had a good holiday with your dad. I don't much else to add, sorry. Just want to make sure best husbando Izuku Midoriya remains on #1 spot and hit 2,000 on the calendar soon. Yes, your husbando is at the top of our yearly sexy candle calendar still, and will remain there for the foreseeable future. Marksman, hello ladies, glad to finally have you here as part of Arch's growing list of groomed VTubers. And for anything, I think I'm the one being groomed here when it comes to many of these things. These are far more extreme ladies than I am. We are very welcoming, for example, take as usual Cause Lumi, also known as the footfish for a love of feet and hooves. That's true. We are open to many kinds of weird people here. Fano, never forgot, these are Somalians, and they know how to use the system against white people. Yes, they do. It's a part of their culture. Have either of you heard about the fascinating term Izzat?
What's that?
It sounds familiar.
Izzat is the Indian concept of honor. And one of its key pillars is basically fucking everybody else over as much as you conceivably can.
Nice honor.
Is that Indian or is that Indian or is that Islamic?
Indian, very different from the Islamic.
Is it Indian?
Version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking that the terms may sound similar between the two cultures. That's why I was like confused for a moment.
And it's a wonderful thing. I did a deep dive into it with Sargon on my other podcast ages ago. And it's fascinating. Like, they have an entire ideology that basically says, okay, if you can screw Whitey out of money, then you do. That is an honorable act. That is a virtuous act. And if they let you, that simply proves that they're weak and you should continue.
I guess that might explain the plethora of scam call centers in India, with India being probably the scam call center of the world, that maybe they're following that edict there.
Yep. Freyner and Kick. The judge was holding the jury till 10:30 p.m. until the judge got what they wanted. My previous post into Homeworld. Marksman, I'm also going to steal a march on Boog here. Ladies, who's your favorite pony character from MLP? I apologize for my chat.
I don't know much about My Little Pony, I'm gonna be honest.
How do you not know much about My Little Pony?
Was I mean, it wasn't my thing. I was into different things when I was younger and as I grew up. It just My Little Pony never really grabbed me, never really grabbed my interest. I was always more interested in like the regular like superheroes, like Marvel superheroes, DC superheroes, anime, things like that. My Little Pony, even when they animated it, it just never grabbed me.
That's a terrible, terrible reason to not be into My Little Pony, truly.
I know the bronies are going to kill me. I now have a hit put out on me by them.
Which actually brings up, okay, I want to do this as a slight joke topic, but they're doing more My Little Pony series, and there's this interview with the new creator, and I love it. It's every current deism you can find. It's like, oh, so when you watch the previous entries in this series, like what parts inspired you? And the answer, well, we're obviously not going to recreate anything anybody's done before. We're not here to create the thing you want. We're here to create something completely different. Oh, fantastic. Good.
In other words, they're going to be, quote unquote, standing on the shoulders of geniuses to basically stomp those that they're standing on into 6 feet under the earth.
Yes,
kind of like what they did with Star Wars.
Of giant explicitly to shit on them. And, of course, it's going to be a story about identity now. Identity. Oh, I wonder what that means in the current year context.
Sounds fun.
So we're going to have gay ponies.
How many transgender ponies are we going to get?
Many transgender ponies. Many, many transgender ponies. We're going to get fat ponies. We're going to get gay ponies. We're going to get black ponies rapping at you. All of that will be in. There's even a mention, of course, of the wider audience, that they've got to bring My Little Pony to a new generation of people. And the best part, so, as a defender of My Little Pony, one of the things I actually quite liked about it was it was nothing but wholesome messaging. You know, it was just simple lessons and moralities like old cartoons. And these moralities take some time to explain, because of course you got to set up the situation, like why is this important? Why do you need to have these morals and values? And then deliver the explanation. That was the entire point of the series, and why it got such a large adult male fandom. That's another more disturbing things. But now they're changing that. They're going to make these 9-minute YouTube short friendly things, basically.
Oh, no, that's what they're going to do? They're not going to be like full, like 24-minute shows. They're going to be like 9 minutes?
Yep, 9-minute shorts.
Oh, God. They've already started doing this bullshit with Netflix. They're not making shows for people anymore. They're making background noise now. That's what all these, because I remember seeing the thing about Netflix where it was it was that Matt Damon, Ben Affleck like heist film that came out, where they actually said in interviews that when they wrote the script for it, they specifically wrote it in a way because they were expecting people not to be paying attention to their show or to their movie and to be like doom scrolling on their phones. And that's why they were constantly repeating the same plot points over and over again to inform the audience who was too busy fucking around on their phones to be watching the movie. And now they're doing it with My Little Pony because the average person, honestly, with the average person, I'm surprised they're doing it with 9 minutes, not going 5 minutes. 9 minutes, they may actually be stretching the attention span of the current day, Gen Alphas that may be watching this.
I actually love that term, content as background, because that is a lot of things these days. Things made to not be understood or consumed or delved into, but rather just a brief moment of noise that accompanies other activities.
It's funny because I love that, because I know it sounds terrible, but I love like just putting on some kind of thing in English on Netflix, and I just put it on another monitor, and I can kind of just occasionally glance at it while I'm working on something, because I'm like, at this point in my life, I'm managing like a entire company of like 40 clankers. So I just have like the clanker Clankerception, and it's like I need something to do. Like sometimes there's like little brief bits, like 20 seconds where I have nothing to do, and it's great to just like look at my other monitor and be like, oh, okay, that's an interesting story. So there's the boy in the balloon, and he almost thought he was in the balloon, and he went out. It's just great to like watch stuff like that.
There you go. But yeah,
Service
I mean,
guarantee.
I'm looking forward to this because it's going to be something for me to make content out of. It's going to be more shit, more garbage pumped out into the world. Yet another IP that people love, and they're just going to make the exact opposite because fuck you. That's why.
You said that this was actually going to be broadcast on YouTube. Like they're not. This isn't going to be on Netflix or anything. They're actually going straight to YouTube with this.
I don't know about that, but they were making them shorts specifically because they wanted to have like short style
Okay.
content. It's going to be terrible, but that's just life now. Everything's fucking terrible. We just gotta accept it.
Okay, this is going to sound really weird. I could kind of see. Okay, I can almost see what they're trying to do, but the way they're doing it is incredibly stupid. It's almost like it feels like if they're going to be doing like we're going to be using My Little Pony, going back to the life lessons thing where we're using the license of My Little Pony, and we're going to be imparting like small little bite-sized life lesson things onto the Gen Alpha viewers, because I'm guessing they're going to be making this for the Gen Alphas. So it almost feels like they might be trying to do some kind of like Sesame Street style thing, because Sesame Street does the same thing where over the course of their broadcasts, they sort of have like a half dozen mini shows within their main broadcast. And it's almost like if they had done that with My Little Pony, where they basically did a full like 30-minute or even hour-long show, and they basically just had like a collection of vignettes in the overarching show where you have like plot point, characters, plot point issue, plot point resolution, lesson learned, okay, and then we transition to the next one, and we do the same thing, different lesson, different characters, or maybe mix in some of the characters, do the thing, learn the lesson, then transition to the next one, and you sort of do these multiple vignettes over the course of one show. Like something like that, I could kind of get on board with and could actually go along with a little bit, but it doesn't sound like that's what they're doing here.
No, I don't imagine that's what they're going to do here. I think this is just going to be them trying to destroy another thing. Nobody can make anything new anymore. God. I remember how years ago we were fearing, like, oh, we're going to enter an age of remakes. Creativity is dead. Yes, creativity was indeed dead. We only got shit, and now we're kind of re-emerging into the age of remakes again, where the only things that earn money anymore is shit like Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remaster or X-Men 97. Just stuff that was from the 90s are now popular.
Well, point of note is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Yeah, we've got Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I guess it did well, but people were still pointing out like there's a lot wrong with Assassin's Creed Black Flag that resynced, where it's like they only half-assed the effort into some of the textures and the modeling, where you're getting this ungodly pop-in that makes absolutely no sense. And that's even before we even start talking about the new Halo that just came out, that is just getting absolutely dumpstered on. Everybody hates that one, but honestly, I would actually I would slightly disagree with your characterization of remastering, and it's more of they're not remastering, they're reimagining so many of these things, or deconstructing so many of these things. Like is like they're not even doing that anymore. It's we're not even getting remakes of old properties. We're getting the reimagining, where they're basically they're taking an established IP, and because we have absolutely zero creativity in mainstream entertainment anymore, they've got to take that old IP and inject themselves and their ideologies into it and basically twist it and morph it into an unrecognized monster and then just shove it down people's gullets.
Yep, the Halo remaster, because in Black Flag, at least they kept it 90% the same, and then a little bit of little censorships here and there. But in the Halo remaster, they just add in a random ugly-ass female girl boss character who does nothing throughout the entire game but take the piss out of the player character. It's like...
Of
fantastic.
Master, not simply the player character, of Master fucking Chief. She takes the piss out of Master Chief, one of what used to be the most manly icons of manliness in gaming. And you have this slag taking the piss out of him just because she has to girl boss.
Yes. Like, the entire Halo thing appears to have just been like I love this cutscene where they're just shooting at the wall.
Shooting straight! Shooting straight, not even shooting at him!
Like, this is unpaid intern level work, right?
Dude,
here.
and they say they talk mad shit about AI, and you see this shit. Oh, look at this AI slop.
Yeah.
The AI slop. It doesn't even look good. And then they have human made stuff like this. It's like, where do you think the AI got it from?
Yep.
Exactly. Oh, there was another scene that I saw on Twitter posting about this. That apparently there was like a scene in the original Halo Combat Evolved where you come around a corner and there's like a spooked soldier who fires at you and you actually take damage from it and you have to put him down. And there's like a moment of silence where you realize you just killed one of your own. And it's very poignant and it's very dramatic and it's very heart wrenching because you're the main character. You killed one of your own who was a good guy who was just panicking. And apparently in this remake or remaster, this soldier, you can see him, he can see you, and he's just sitting there firing wildly and nothing happens. Like, you don't take damage, there's no incentive for you to shoot him because you think he's a bad guy taking damage. It's just, the model's just there looking ugly as hell, panicked, and just shooting his gun and nothing's happening. Like, that's in this like remaster of the original.
In the future, we won't be asking whether or not new games are good. We're just going to ask the question, is the remake good? Is the remake worse than the original? A wonderful future for all of us. Oh, although, on that point, right, so there is one remake that they also announced that actually does look very, very good right now. I don't know if either of you have any history whatsoever with Transformers, but
I saw this. Okay, but as a point of note, this isn't a remake. This is actually like a 4K remaster.
yes.
And yeah, like I saw this on Twitter, and visually, holy hell, this looks amazing.
I mean, that's the thing, like, in the fucking 80s, we knew how to make animations, which apparently we just forgot.
Yeah.
I mean,
We need to get back to 2D. We need to get back to 2D hand-drawn animation like this.
It has nothing to do, I think, with the techniques. I think it has everything to do with just the people being just. A lot of the people nowadays they're just not. They can't make anything. And this is why they're so scared of AI, because AI is going to give everyone the power to do that without large studios, without the funding. So now their entire walled castle is crumbling around them, and this is why they're so mad.
Yeah, no, I entirely agree.
I mean, you want to hear something? Do you want to hear something crazy? We do have AI artists that what we are seeing on screen right now. We have AI artists right now that are accomplishing what we're seeing. This style, this format, it looks like the 2D hand-drawn style animation. Grumpy Whiskers Leaf, I'm sure you're probably familiar with them. He is an AI artist who does music videos. He has put out a couple now that have this it's Japanese anime style, but it's similar in nature, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Like, we can get back to this beautiful 2D, like, quote unquote hand draw style animation with AI. And boy, doesn't that terrify the hell out of the people that want to do quote unquote animation, shoving their ideology into it when there is a plethora of AI artists out there that can come out with some absolutely beautiful work without injecting the message into it.
When the free market gives everyone choices, they're fucked because people don't have to choose them anymore. That's what they're afraid of.
And like that's what I hope AI will become, a democratizing force in entertainment. Because all of this old style stuff, like old school animes, art style, the old Western art style as well. The West was even doing things better than Asia when it came to things like Treasure Planet, exceptional movies like that. They were made by people who were genuinely enthusiastic about what they were making. And they were constantly pushing the borders more and more. There's a fantastic behind-the-scenes making of the Jungle Book movie, the animated Jungle Book movie, where you have these people who all love hand-drawn animation. They show you how they do it, the old school, when, flip books, etc. And nobody asked them to go further than any other animated product. They wanted to. They always wanted to make something better and more beautiful. And nobody's doing that anymore now. Everybody's working at Disney who's doing all of this nonsense. Everybody's working at Amazon. They're just collecting a paycheck. The recent trend in movie armors is such an extremely good example of this, where you have, like Lord of the Rings, Gondor's armor looks amazing. Everybody's gear looks amazing. And then in the Rings of Power, everybody's wearing fucking t-shirts with plastic print on them.
Yep. Well, you're speaking to a loss of passion. People that used to be in the entertainment industry up to about 10 years ago, you could even make the argument of several years, even out of 10 years, is people had passion. They got into this industry because they had a love of art, they had a love of storytelling, and they wanted to basically bring that there. They wanted to share that love of art and storytelling with people. And now in the entertainment industry, particularly visual entertainment industry, it's no longer about a love of the art or a love of storytelling. It's now, I want to basically inject my truth into people. I want to inject what I consider reality into people. And I so much want to get back to having, entertainment being done by people who basically love to entertain. Like, their goal is not to try and sway opinions. Their goal is not to, make people think that the way they do, that their goal is to I just want to entertain people. I want people to enjoy my work, forget about all of the troubles, forget about all of the bullshit happening right now. Everybody's mind is in turmoil, and I want to, for a brief moment in time, I want to give them a moment of whimsy. I want to give them a moment of wonder, of magic. And I so desperately wish that we would have more people doing that. We are starting to see it. We are starting to see it with like indie developers, indie movie studios, independent artists at large, and they are on the rise. And I love to see it. And I am so thrilled at the rise of the independents that are putting out just beautiful, hilarious, entertaining art that everybody can enjoy. And I hope it goes even further.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Because it really is a question of wanting to do it properly. There we go. So there was a excellent mention of this as well in one of the making of the Lord of the Rings movies, where they explained that in the Gondorian soldiers, they picked like the biggest guys they could find. Like, they're all tall, they're all big, muscular guys. And this was to communicate that these are the old sons of Numenor, basically. These are big, powerful men. And there was a hard rule that everybody who was on camera, their armor had to fit. They had to look like they belonged in that armor. And then you have the Rings of Power, where they literally just gather up fucking
it is.
random extras and plonk them in these things. Like,
Oh, God.
it's
Oh
so
my God.
fucking
Look at the guy.
terrible.
Look at the fourth
Oh
guy in.
my
Look at the way his
goodness.
helmet's just winging out
Yep.
wildly. That's crazy.
Because it's so obvious. Like, this was produced en masse in some fucking foundry out of hard plastic somewhere with no concerns to who was going to wear it, how, when, where. And there's no focus. Like, they've got these tassel helmets, which the point of that is to make them look tall and imposing, except they've got this flaccid little fucking ponytail. Everybody's got a different one. His is wide, his is long. It makes them look even worse. Like, I swear to God, I had a plastic, like, breastplate as a toy that looked better than this.
I'm stuck on the sleeves. Like, you can see the creases in the sleeves. Like, this is not armor. This is like a sweatshirt with a pattern printed on it.
Like, what this is, it's literally like a toy. It's toy armor. It is toy armor. If you'd asked Mattel to make the outfits, they'd have done a better job.
Jeez.
And again, so I am all for, like, the hope that AI will be a properly democratizing force, allowing people to make whatever they want to make. And AI is making enormous steps in that direction as well. My only fear is basically that the companies are eventually going to start just taking all of the best models for themselves and then controlling everything else. And then legislature. Oh, I dread the day the boomer politicians get in their mind that they're going to need to start controlling AI.
Oh, yeah,
They're already
They will.
they're
They
already
will.
doing that. They're
Yeah.
trying already.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be an
No,
argument
I will say,
within
like-
the next 5 years where they're going to argue that AI is too dangerous for normal people to have access to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're going to do that. Oh, 100%. I mean, look at what's this is kind of sort of in that vein. Look at what's happening with Elon. Elon has said that he is going to make a full AI movie of the Odyssey that I think is going to be getting released in a year. And he's doing it directly because of what Nolan did to the Odyssey. So how long do you think it's going to be? Because if Elon Musk is able to do a really good, completely AI generated movie to compete with the Odyssey, and it is extremely well received, what are the odds that you're going to have the Hollywood industry start lobbying, saying, "Oh, this is too dangerous. We can't allow people to just be using AI willy nilly like this. We're going to need to start putting in some guardrails so that people like Elon Musk don't shut us down because he's a very convenient boogeyman these days."
And the thing as well, I'm very interested in seeing what that'll be ending up. There was also the rumor that he was going to try and get in contact with, oh God, what's his name? William Wallace.
Oh, Mel Gibson.
Mel
Yeah, he's going to
Gibson.
have him direct.
Thank you, yes. For $100 million, which would also be incredibly interesting. Because one of the huge things that is a complete lost art in movies is style. Everything today is grey or dark and boring. Everything. There's no imagination whatsoever.
Oversaturated.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even because
It's like
I don't know if it's a stylistic
yeah. I was gonna say it's. It seems like we saw it start with DC. Like DC has been really bad about this, where they've been going with the really dark, dour, depressing. We saw it first kind of started happening with the Justice League, where a lot of it was like dark and gritty, and it's gone throughout. And then we had the Supergirl movie that came out recently, and that was like a lot of dark, sepia toned, depressing looks. And then on the flip side, you have you have Marvel, who is kind of went in a slightly opposite way, where they did go, like, obviously they do have their dark and depressing and stupid stuff, like where you have your ground-based heroes like the Thunderbolts, like all that was just like dark and depressing. But then you've got like they went the opposite route, like with Guardians of the Galaxy, like 2 and 3, they go hyper stylized with hyper colorations and just like supreme, like all of the colors are just oversaturated, as just like they're going into these two extremes when there is this absolutely beautiful middle ground of just pure stylized goodness that Hollywood seems to have forgotten about, that people are desperate for.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, like there was, I love some of the medias. The Elon Musk awful. The Odyssey movie clip shows why AI movies will fail. It's like awful. I would watch this movie. I would absolutely watch this fucking movie. It's like an obvious.
Is that like a frame from it?
What are your these were just some clips from like the YouTube version of it, like the test things. But obviously, when you're going to make an AI movie, you're going to need a lot of retouching and experts to do like the details. Because, for example, the guys in the backgrounds are sitting sideways while throwing, and you're going to need to do stuff like that. But the overall style and the aesthetics, Hollywood would kill themselves instead of making something that looks like this.
Yeah.
Have you seen the stuff that Dong P. Bongwater's making, like the new sci-fi that he was working on?
No.
Nope.
Let me see if
I
find it.
haven't. I've been meaning to get into Don P for a while.
This is like an individual person.
Others, but...
Individual person making a thing. Let me see. Dong P.
Heresy's the question.
Bongwater.
Fire is the answer.
I'll get you the link to it in 1 second, but
there's him and is Meat Canyon also going that route, or is he still doing hand drawn? Like his latest thing was that AI, or was that hand drawn?
live sorry, do I put it in this which channel do I put this in?
Live link.
Live link. Got it. All right. There. Like this is made by one person. Right, which is nutty. And like, if you imagine if you had like a team of people, like it's gonna be even crazier, right? Like again, one dude made this.
Oh,
Theater mode.
that's impressive. Don did this. Wow,
Yeah, he's making like a trailer for like a movie that he wants to work on.
nice.
I mean, like, look at it. It looks pretty impressive for one single person who did all this, right?
Oh, that shot was, that exit shot with the ship was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit here you can see like a little bit of Uncanny Valley, but honestly, overall, it looks outstanding.
And again, like, all of the problems with AI right now, we're basically nitpicking details, largely. That's what people are doing with AI. They're nitpicking background things. Like his hands look a bit weird around the lectern there, for example. And honestly, all of this can be fixed. If one person is doing this, if you have a team with some Photoshop, some editing software, you can go through a movie frame by frame and fix all of the little dumb inconsistencies.
The other thing too is a lot of this, right, is a lot of artists, a lot of filmmakers saying that this is slop. But I'll tell you what, the average person doesn't really see that, doesn't care. The average person is like not looking at the little tiny detail that's like on the thing, right? They want the overall thing. The mind fills in a lot of that, right? Like you're not looking at literally every pixel. You're taking in the entire image at a time. And so a lot of these like small inconsistencies are going to just be completely glossed over by your brain anyway.
Yeah, and again,
and another factor in there is, not only is the average person like not going to pick up the final details that someone who is like in the space might be picking up on, but also they're going to be looking at this overall picture and going, is this fun? Is this entertaining? Is what my eyes taking in beautiful in what I'm seeing? And like this trailer alone, I'm seeing like the trailer is gorgeous. Like, yeah, we could drill down into it, but overall, like this looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And all we really need is basically a couple of successes to prove the purpose, dude. You prove the point. Go like, okay, no, people will actually watch this. And now the difficult part is going to be, it's going to be this. This. It will be the fact that there will be a near unified media apparatus standing against it.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do whatever they can to tell you it's shit, tell you nobody cares about it. Just say the thing, and then they're gonna get all of the reviewers to go on it, and all the usual suspects.
Yep.
Counterpoint though, I think that if they, mainstream like MSN here or whatever, trying to dumpster on the like what Elon's doing with the Odyssey, I'm not entirely sure that it matters as much
Service
anymore as it
guaranteed
used to, because
citizenship.
largely speaking, a lot of people don't go to mainstream media for entertainment reviews anymore. I would say that a lot of people are going to YouTubers these days. A lot of people, when it comes to video, movie reviews, TV reviews, game reviews, they don't look at like the mainstream quote unquote journalists anymore. They look to the YouTubers who have presented themselves and presented their critiques of these individual products and projects and whatever, and they've done so honestly, and they've been proven right time and time again. And I think more people are going to these YouTubers. I'll name drop a little bit here, like Nerdrotic, like Critical Drinker, like Geeks and Gamers, people like that. Arch, like for you as well. When you've been, when you've talked about Lord of the Rings with the Rings of Power and everything, you all present yourselves in an honest way. You speak honestly about something. You see, if something is shit, you call it out as shit. And here are the articulated reasons why. Or you've people in this space where they say we've seen a trailer, we've seen a preview, we go, oh, this looks like it's going to be like crap, ends up being, hey, it's actually not half bad. That people in this space are not afraid to go, you know what, I saw it, I played it, I didn't have a lot of hopes for it, and you know what, I had a complete turnaround. This was actually pretty decent. I was really surprised, and it ended up being pretty good. And I think more and more and more people are starting to recognize that if to get a genuine review of entertainment media
you
these days,
ready to
you
wreck
don't
this
go
yellow
to
mare's
the mainstream
fluttery,
media
buttery
because all they do is just twist it to basically funnel an agenda into your eyes and ears. You go to these YouTuber reviewers because they have proven themselves to be honest and genuine and will actually correct themselves if they're proven wrong. And so I think when it comes to the AI films going on the rise, I think people are going to be looking to them first versus publications like NSN or the like for is this going to be something good to spend my money on or spend my time?
Yeah, I hope so. Right, let me do a couple more of the super chats as well, so I don't fall too far behind.
Mhm.
In a desperate effort, anyways. Oh no, some of the biggest bigots today versus one of the biggest bigots 10 years ago. Truly a modern day pairing. That's right. I was a bigger bigot back in the past. Now you are the bigot. I have grown into a smaller bigot over the years. Now the bigotry is AI.
It's always a bigger fish.
Always a bigger fish. And 50s for the Conan Fund. Well, I'm really looking forward to the Conan animated series, by the way, by the guy who made Savage, was it? Primal, that was the one. Conan deserves some good stuff.
I hadn't heard about that.
Oh yes, he was given the Conan IP to do recently.
Is it going to be like adult rated, or is it going to be like all ages?
Sadly, I think they're rating it 13.
You ignorant slut.
It's not a deal breaker. It's not what I'd want for Conan, but it's not a deal breaker.
No, depending on how they do it, you could still get pretty brutal with a 13 rating. You just have to not, show it explicitly. I have some hope for that. I do. Brendan, you found more VTubers to Grew March. This is going to be a powder episode where you pretend to be normal, or Madam Sammy one? Normal one. Everything's been very normal today. I'm proud of everybody. The malcontent Arch, whatever you do, don't get Dev on with them at the same time. You can tell what happened with Kirsche. Well, I wasn't planning on it.
Was that a spicy episode? I'm not aware.
Dev was not with Kirsche, was he? Dev has
They
been
thinking about Jake?
excommunicated since he's gone crazy. The malcontent,
I
ask
wonder if
Ember.
they're referencing Jake because, yeah.
Jake?
Jake Monroe?
Yeah, the episode where Jake was on side scrollers with Kirsche, like they just went off the rails and it was absolutely glorious.
Dude, Jake is so fed up. I fucking like every time
I do. I love him.
he's so done.
The malcontent, ask Ember why she knows so much about S&M culture. I saw that cable episode. She seemed to know a lot about the do's and don'ts.
I make no secret about it. I enjoy.
Blunter, Arch, you need to be groomed. Ember knows a great groomer. Does she now? Ember shows her videos when on break.
I know a Claire. Who are they talking about?
I don't know. The chat does what the chat does.
I don't either.
Ethan Grant, Leighton Gay, Conan. Listen, we got her eventually. Malcontent trailer for Rings of Power just dropped. Yes, and I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to expose myself to that shit until I absolutely have to. And even then, I'd rather not. The worst part is, I'm actually going to have to probably go back and rewatch the previous fucking seasons to remind myself what was goddamn going on. And I don't want
Luckily, they're cooked soon. The Hollywood people. The money is running out. The time is running out. You know, I'm honestly just waiting. I'm just waiting for the collapse. It's happening.
Yeah. Well, look at all the sales of the studios happening. What was it that was it WB is getting sold to Paramount? Am I remembering that correctly?
They're trying to. There was a recent court order halting the merger for 14 days a while ago.
I thought I saw something about the EU saying it could go forward, although I could be misremembering.
The entire Warner Bros. Paramount merger it's going to become a political question, really. And nobody really knows whether or not it's going to go ahead. It's a 50-50 at this point. I don't like it because I prefer. Okay, right. If your company is just gonna go tits up, like Warner Bros. Apparently was, okay, fucking sell it off on the market, auction it off piece by piece. I don't want to give Paramount Batman. I want to give some random dude who, to him, Batman is the only thing he owns. It's his only IP, and he will treat that like fucking gold because of it. Not Paramount.
Oh, yeah. Well, let us not forget, Paramount is who gave us current modern day Star Trek and Starfleet Academy, which basically got canceled before season 1 even ended, but they'd already shot season 2, so we're still getting a season 2.
Yep. Because I entirely agree with the argument that it's monopolistic. We shouldn't give this many properties to a single fucking company. Same time, if Warner Brothers wants to run themselves into the ground, very well, go ahead. But there should be a forced mechanism that goes, okay, well, we can't allow a merger, and the company doesn't want to keep going. Take all of their IPs, sell it off just piece by fucking piece to people who actually care.
Yeah. I mean, to a degree, Sony kind of did that. Like with where Sony or like they can basically lease their IPs out to other companies, but still retain full rights. Kind of how like Sony has leased the Spider-Man IP to Disney Marvel, but they still retain full rights to the IP, and so they still make their own Spider-Verse stuff. Like, why not go? Why not go that route?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I would much rather see it. I want... Because, again, the entire point about intellectual property, obviously, was to reward the artist who created it. And I'm entirely sympathetic towards that. If you come up with Superman, then absolutely, you get to have the rights to Superman, right? For your lifetime plus whatever years it is. But that's not what's happening here. There isn't an artist who owns this shit. It's a company. It's a corporation. And frankly, I care a lot less about their rights than I do about having access to good entertainment.
Yeah, it's why I'm so happy that indie studios we're seeing a rise in popularity and success of the indie studios, because these smaller productions, when they create something, they do so with obvious love and care for what they're making, and we need so much more of that.
Ildrax donates $20 to simply just say a woo. I don't know why. That's just what happened. Thank you for your donation.
I think he's trying to get the anime girls to say ooh woo.
No, but it was awu, not uwu. Awu.
Oh.
Gain Hemlock, Leaf is awesome.
Thanks, Ken.
The Malcontent.
Fully
Now all we
agree.
need is Porcus and Madam Savvy, and we can scar Leaflit for life. Einar's Dark Sneaks. Another 2v1 stream. They always laugh at you, self-inflicted suffering. Put this up for Pony Mal. No, this has been a surprisingly well-behaved stream, actually. We kept on topic largely. Unusual for this chat. Here we go. Here's a derail coming. The Marksman says, the homophile agenda will not be defeated. That's human, male, and female anthro. Most romantic of men's romance genre. Men's romance trumps female romance, which is just degeneracy. Tailpike Elves was the way.
Somebody check his copy of Morning Glory Milking Farm.
Well, you say that. I've already read 3 of those books.
Wait, did you really?
No!
Yes.
How are they? Because I bought it as a joke, because everyone told me, like, have you read Morning Glory Milking Farm? This is like back when it was like huge and everyone was talking about it. So I was like, you know what? I'll buy it right now and I'll read it. I had like no idea what it was actually about. I still haven't read it though. I don't have time.
Service guaranteed citizenship.
I have. I've read it. My chat has funded the reading of 3 of the books.
Your thoughts?
God, are you still sane?
Well, it's produced some wonderful artwork, amongst other things.
Oh God!
Oh my!
Okay, I'm gonna be real. This is tame compared to some shit that I've seen online in terms of like the anthro furry art.
So the first book, which is the one that's famous, is the worst one because it's just smut. There's like 200 mentions of cock in a 300-page book. And there's graphic.
I mean, at least it's not about the inner goddess.
Graphic depictions of cock, the seam of his balls, the veins in his dick, just constantly.
Come on, I write smut too, and I've never gotten that fucking descriptive.
The other ones are Ray Tamer, the one of the werewolf. There is a portion where they're talking about giving anal prolapse via anal sex, which is normal.
Dear God.
But it's more normal. It's less pervy. It only has like 2 sex scenes instead of like the core premise of Milking Farm is that she's working at a milking farm. Her job is to give hand jobs to cows. And the last one we got funded was the tamest of them all, because it's just about a woman wanting to be BDSM dominated by a ghost, which was pretty tame, honestly.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I could be into that.
Yeah, there you go. Just a normal fetish. Pretty tame, pretty tame.
My books are more extreme than that.
Tenarian says, I know you don't like praising the Danes, but I watched an hour's worth of Danish TV today, and there were exclusively white people in the commercials. The show I watched also featured Miss Universe 2024, the first blonde to win the title in 20 years.
Trick or treat.
Thomas What's up? VTuber, gotta catch them all. Or how I built a harem of Bishojo tubers on a budget and became the strongest. All hail the bridge god. Play bar. I know actually the manga you're referencing. I've read it. It was mediocre. Eric, just Arch, Discworld question. What is the name of Death's horse, servant, daughter, and granddaughter? And apart from Death, what other jobs have Death had? I haven't the fucking foggiest. I read Discworld World when I was 12. Okay? I don't fucking remember this shit. I remember loving it. I remember it being absolutely awesome, but it's been too long. Michael Dobin, you need to watch The Lawyer's Comments. The Lawyer's Comments? Is that a thing? The Lawyer's Comments. The DC Titan, the guy pretending not to understand was the boy's father. Camera was never appeared in court because they fled back to Somalia. Ah, okay. Makes sense for Norse. Ember, Leaflit English. Damn, feels strange seeing VTubers I follow suddenly show up in the ArchCast. Arch collection of VTubers grow. Luminous One's fund. Listen, I take requests. Leaflit was much requested. I had loads of people telling me to get a hold of you. Very requested guests.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Leaf, you are in high demand.
Yeah.
It's,
high demand.
it feels weird. Like, I don't know. I'm just a game developer trying to make a game.
And that's no small task. I'm working on a couple of tabletop games of my own, and I know the suffering. It is many things that need to be done.
It's rough. I'm working on some really cool lore systems, and I'm making like a newspaper thing that like has all the events from the week. I'm trying to get it done, but.
And like as you mentioned, there are parts of that that can only be done now because of AI. One of the big things that we ran into on my project was we wanted to have... we're working a game about wizards fighting in a skirmish-style tabletop kind of thing. And we wanted to have cards for each of the spells so that you know what the spell does, you can read it, you can place it on the table, so there's no confusion or looking through rule books and shit, right? And we wanted artwork for this, obviously, because you want to look pretty. And we wanted like an oil-painted, old style. And so we got a contact with some people who did that, and they were like, right, it's going to take me on average 6 weeks to make one piece. And it's going to cost like $1,000.
Exactly. Yep, that's what we ran into as well. And like, you know, since our game updates, you know, we have it's like kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but then we actually update it like every like 3 to 4 weeks is like our development cycle. We have like a new patch where it has new content and all that stuff, right? The cycle, that cycle, 3 to 4 weeks is impossible to get like all the art done for all the classes and all that. So, and we started doing like animated trailers for like every patch. That also would be impossible without AI.
Yeah. So we started using AI for the card art simply because if we want to release a product this side of the fucking century, it's our only choice.
Yep, exactly.
Like, it's not even an economic
It's beautiful
concern.
art, I have to say.
And see, here's the ridiculous thing, right? Is say you were an artist and you were like, say you were like, I'd really like an artist to work on this because I want to know their vision. They could work with AI to get it done on time, to get it done within the time frame that is acceptable. But since they don't even want to work with us, even under those circumstances, we have no choice but to cut them out completely.
Because this is the thing too, because a lot of the artists we have on our project are quite happy to use AI to flesh out things that they have done and to add on things. I love using artists because they often come up with great ideas on how to expand on things. And so I love
That's
them.
what you pay them for. That's what I pay them for.
I like using them on the big fancy artwork that we have, and to do concept art and stuff. But again, for like the card, we had no other choice. Like if we wanted to release this thing within the next like 4 or 5 years, even, we have to use AI. There's simply no amount. Like we would have to have. I think we did the math on this. We'd have to have like 15 artists working continuously to be able to produce enough art just for our cards if you want to deliver it. And I was like, okay, well, firstly, that's going to be 15 grand a month. Secondly,
by the way, just a little bit of a peek into the industry for people that don't know this. The way it works is they'll get one artist that will be like, this is the style we want to do it. And then they'll go overseas to like either South America or Southeast Asia. And then they will have like an entire farm of artists like just doing them, right? And and then with like really tight deadline, like those you hear about like animators and like their situations being hell, their cycles being hell. It's just like that, but for art, and that's what's going to happen basically, right? So only way, and only these big companies are able to actually contract these sub companies that are able to like have the artists to do this kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful tool for us. Very happy with it. Pakelda, Leaflit. I keep forgetting to tell you this when you're on side scrolls. I saw something about local Costco you might like. Look up Infinity X1 Mushroom Light.
Oh, I seen that. I was gonna get that. I had 2 of them in my cart, and my mom told me to put it back. It was fucking tragic. She said she didn't really want it.
Tragic indeed.
Yeah.
JJ 60. The case will probably need to go to the Supreme Court because there is precedence for blasphemy, profanity, and obscenity laws. The founding fathers were in favor of these. Side out, Rochester, Minnesota resides there. Well, the problem is, okay, if you get it to the Supreme Court, right, which is going to take a fucking decade, easy, and it's going to cost, oh my god, so much money. When you get there, you're still not going to get a legal ruling. You're going to just get yet another fucking interpretive ruling. That's what I hate about the law system right now. It's not really truly legal rulings anymore. It's all interpretive nonsense, which isn't really supposed to be the point of the law.
You guys mind if I use the
Also,
restroom
if
real
they
quick?
even listen to it.
Sorry, do you guys mind if I use the restroom real quick?
Well, if I
go
say
ahead.
I mind, will you just sit there and pee yourself?
Yes. I love your
No, go ahead.
What I was saying about with the go all the way to Supreme Court is like this is if the Supreme Court will even hear it in the first place. There's no guarantee if it actually gets to the Supreme
Ignorant
Court
slut.
that they're even going to listen to it in the first place. And if they do, how many of them are simply just going to abstain, like what we've been seeing so frequently now? So I don't even know if it's even possible for it to reach that, or if they'll even hear the case.
Yeah, and to be honest as well, there's no situation in which the Supreme Court should be weighing in on a fucking civil disturbance case. It's ridiculous.
Oh, absolutely it is. But it's like, ridiculous in modern day is kind of par for the course.
Yep. Here in clown world, everything's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee on Kick. Hi, as someone who's become an uncle, again, I want to help my sisters prevent their child's discrimination for being white in the UK, but don't know how to. Honestly, the only thing you can do is keep a close track of what their school is doing, and then object vehemently if you ever see any sign of wokeism. And that's about all you can do. I mean, you can try homeschooling, but that is a lot of extra effort. And as for the rest, I mean, you don't you don't really have an option. The problem is we live in societies that have been taken over by bad agents. And the solution to that is going to be a very long and hopefully political one.
Yeah, and in terms of like Arch, you're going to be far more of an expert in terms of like schooling and education in the UK. But I've seen examples where you have, even like keeping track of what is being taught is not necessarily going to help help the issue in and of itself, because there's a couple of videos that came out recently where I think this might have been in a college. I'm not 100% sure. A college is in university, but I'm not 100% sure. But it was where a student was simply like asking the instructor or the professor a question, and the student was saying, "Well, this isn't really right. You're saying I have to believe in this, but why do I have to believe in this?" And actually termed the logic that they had been trying to impart upon the students around on them to basically make the instructor seem like they were full of shit, or that they were lying, or they didn't know what they're talking about. And the end result was the instructor said, "Get out." And they literally just kicked him out of the class. So it's like, even just keeping track of what teachers are teaching the students, it's like, what recourse in the UK do you even have if you are able to chart, like, okay, a teacher is teaching abjectly incorrect knowledge to the students, like throwing out a simple example that a teacher refuses to teach the biological constant that there are two genders, and they say, well, no, that's not necessarily true. And like, as a parent, like your child comes home and says, well, the teacher says that there isn't two genders. What recourse do you have as a parent in the UK if you recognize that?
Very little. And welcome back, Leaflit.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Hi, Leaf.
Hi. I went and got a drink too. I was like, might as well.
That was a rapid urination. Congratulations. Nothing went wrong.
Yeah. I made a giant matcha too, so I'm good.
Leaf is like me. We're used to taking very fast bathroom breaks.
You gotta, like, if you can't, listen, are you even a gamer if you can't pee in like the amount of time that you're in queue and then the queue pops? Like, if you can't be halfway on your way to the restroom, you hear the queue pop. If you can't like pee and get to your desk to hit okay before the game starts, then are you really gaming? Like, actually.
Yeah, like chat makes fun of me all the time when I'm like, I gotta take a bathroom break, and I like rush to the bathroom, handle my business, come rushing back. Like, how did you go that fast? I'm like, because I'm used to having to go fast between regular work and streaming. I have trained myself to go fast.
You have to use like strats. There's high level strats for this. So what you gotta do is you gotta wash your hands and then dry them on the way back. Right. So yeah, you don't dry them at the sink. It's a waste of time. You're losing frames. You gotta like come back and you gotta do the wipe on the pants on the way back. That's how you do it. Yeah, obviously everybody knows this.
Everybody knows this.
Pats.
Everybody knows this.
Speaking of chat, as a brief break to the P talk. We're at 717 likes, chat. I'd like to get to 1,000 likes today, chat. Remember, likes is the only way we can influence the fucking YouTube system. Together, we can win. We can beat YouTube. We can become larger, greater, more gloriously bloated. But you have to press the like button. It's the only thing that helps. If you don't, well, then YouTube just becomes corporate tube and everybody suffers.
Think of it this way. Every time you press the like button, you are sponsoring a leftist to cry, which is incredible.
That is a good way of looking at it, yes. You will form a single salty tear on his face. Fredo.
Not that far from the truth.
Gossip Goblin has been some interesting stuff with AI. Very dystopian, but interesting. Gossip Goblin? I don't know that.
I've never heard of that one.
Chat hears about many things. I can't pay attention to half of it, but I am sure chat knows what chat is talking about. Chat always knows what chat talks about. Well, that is a blatant lie, but... YouTube, don't load on me now. And
What kind of
document.
game are you making, Arch? Like, what is it? Is it like a tabletop, like a board game, or is this like a RPG sort of a Dungeons and Dragons like?
2 tabletop war games to begin with, which we're then going to turn into video games once we have the ability to do so and the ability to organize more people working on it. One skirmish level tabletop game with more RPG elements.
Like a Warhammer sort of a thing.
Yep, that'll be the science fiction one. And the fantasy one will be more like skirmish level.
Oh, so they're both more like Warhammer than they are Dungeons and Dragons.
The mage one is more D&D-esque, but definitely more leaning towards strategy, yes.
Service guaranteed citizenship.
Awesome.
Okay. So
I love to see
strategy with like RPG elements to it.
Yes. As you'll build your character, you have, I think we've got, oh, I don't know. I think we've got 18 schools of magic at the moment. And
I love that because I love that because I just like to see other people other than wizards making cool stuff because it's just, geez, holy fuck.
Well, the problem is, like, the only forces in the tabletop gaming world right now is strategy, is Games Workshop, which own the entire market, and then BattleTech is a tiny malformed entity screeching in a corner somewhere. And if you want RPs, it's Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder. That's about it. Both are woke as fuck.
Do you want to know the story about how I got gatekept out of Warhammer 40K?
Please.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I really like Dawn of War. It was like the game, the original Dawn of War, and Space Marine, right? And so I'm playing. I was really interested in Dawn of War. I played it a bunch, and then there's a Games Workshop at at this mall, right? So I go there. And I'm like, oh, look, it's like the Space Marines and the Tyranids. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. Right. And then I was standing there and I was like, I really wanted to try it out. And I just got hard ignored. and then this little kid, this little like 10-year-old kid comes up. And like, oh, you want to check this out? Like, the Tyranids and Space Marines? And the kid's like, yeah. And then like they start teaching. I'm like, oh, man, fuck. I've been here for like 15 minutes. I want to like try it. And I just walked out and I never got into it.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's too bad. That Warhammer's not in a great position either at the moment. It's all kinds of weird.
Oh, yeah?
Are they still trying to do the Amazon series with Henry Cavill, or is that I heard like they started to do it and then it got thrown in the dumpster and now supposedly it's back on? Is there any current word on what's happening with that?
Yes, as far as we know, they're still working on the show with Amazon and Cavill. You never quite know with GW because they've announced TV shows in the past and then just never actually done anything. But as far as we know, it's still on.
Because like I wasn't sure because I know he was working on Highlander and I wasn't I don't know wasn't sure how heavily he was into negotiations with it. I'd heard okay, he was really deep in negotiations, then negotiations collapsed because he wanted to stay, I'm sure you are very familiar, Arch, that Warhammer is that is a passion project for Henry Cavill. He is a gamer's gamer. He is a nerd's nerd. That's why he was very insistent upon things be kept close to the source material for The Witcher, and that's why they fired him. And that was a big point of contention from what I'd heard when he was working with Amazon. He wanted to stick strictly to the established lore of 40K, and Amazon was trying to DEI it up, and then supposedly things broke down, but then they started back up again. It's just a mess with this whole thing.
Yep, it is a mess. And there's been basically just complete radio silence, so we don't even know what kind of role Cavill will have in this production. And what I fear is that they'll basically just use his name as cover to be like, oh, you should watch this, Cavill's involved. And he'll have nothing to do with it. Because, I mean, the man's fucking busy. I don't know how he's going to have time for this.
Suspicion. I have a suspicion if they try to pull that, I have a suspicion that he would back right out and say, "I've got nothing to do with this." Because especially when it comes to Warhammer, because he is so like that is probably one of the top things that he is passionate about. Like I've seen him on various talk shows where he just dives right into it, talking about, various aspects of
ignorant
Warhammer
slut.
40K. He's talked about painting his models. I think if Amazon tries to screw him over like that and says, "Oh yeah, this is the Henry Cavill project," and they try and basically just like shove him in the background and just to attach his name to it, I think he's just gonna be like, "Nope, I'm out," and just completely fuck off and say, "You're on your own," and publicly say, "This, I have nothing to do with this."
I would hope so. I would. But it's too bad that Leaflit was gatekept out of 40K. If ever you want to
Well,
learn
it's
40K,
fine.
Yeah.
tell me, and I
It's
will teach
fine.
you.
I mean, I totally understand that it was that's the it's a dude's game. I totally get it. I'm not I'm not really salty about it. In fact, I do own like a couple
Fire
sets
is the
now
answer.
that there's like when I was working at a game company, they got like a good deal with like we basically traded them like models for like points in game. So I did get like a bunch of stuff at pretty good rate, but I just never got into it because it's really social, right? Like you go like an actual place to play with people. So I'm not really into it.
And there you go,
But I
go to
appreciate
a
it, though.
place. You can use Tabletop Simulator, which is what I've been using lately. Whenever, but it's a big thing. It's really cool. It's been not in a great place right now. It's having a lot of problems with wokeism, the usual nonsense, but the game itself...
Really? Even in Warhammer?
Oh, yes, it's been a huge thing.
Yeah, it was like isn't like the female. The last thing I heard about the big controversy was the female Atreides thing. Or wait, am I getting that right?
Female
Custodes?
Custodes. That's what I'm mixing up Dune and Warhammer. My deepest apologies. I'm mixing up the two franchises. Yeah, the female
Don't worry,
Custodes. That's what it
GW messed up those two as well.
was.
Jeez, how did that happen? I mean, it just seems like I'm gonna be real. 40K just seems like a very masculine game. How did this happen?
Games Workshop have been
Same
actively
way it happened to
attempting
D&D?
to... Yeah, well, even worse. They've been actively trying to reject their fandom now for ages. We also know that they're crazy leftists working at Games Workshop who just hate the consumers and the clients. So it's been infiltrated from the inside.
These people are like viruses, man. Like, what is the problem?
They are.
Like, literally like viruses. They get into a place and then they infect it, they replicate themselves, and then they blow the entire thing up and then they go somewhere else.
Yep.
Literal virus behavior.
It started with like, back in probably like early 2000s, I want to say, where it was the whole thing of like, oh, we're accepting of everybody, we're accepting of all cultures, we're accepting of all genders, we're accepting of all sexualities. We just want you to feel we want you to feel comfortable. And like I'll give it the benefit of the doubt that the intentions of it were good, that they wanted to, make a place for anybody that, because it was supposed to be about the art. It was supposed to be about the creativity, not what your gender identity was, not what your sexual preferences were, not what your ethnicity was. It was supposed to be about the art and the creativity. And unfortunately, when they did that openness of, we will welcome anybody, we just want to make great art, they ended up bringing in infiltrators and effectively speaking, spies that got in, sunk their hooks in, and started destroying from the inside out, like the virus analogy that you gave, Lise.
Yeah, and I mean, it's I have no problem with people of all walks of life being interested in the thing. I don't really think that's the thing to gatekeep. What there is to gatekeep, though, is that you should love it. If you're joining a thing like that is already pre-established and it has a pre-established fan base and all of that, you have to respect the culture that you're going into, right? And it's ridiculous that they feel entitled enough that this isn't good enough, that I need to change it to be more like me, more in my image, when you are the new one here, right? And I mean, that's how I feel about everything. Is it's about like a kind of respect for where it came from, respect for the audience, and then you can create your own things, but within that framework.
Absolutely. Like I'm a firm believer that we need to bring gatekeeping back in a big way in like in all of our hobbies and all of our interests and our entertainment. Like we absolutely need to bring gatekeeping back for the very simple reasons because we didn't gatekeep. We are in a position right now where so many of the things that we loved, grew up loving, are being destroyed. And so it's like absolutely, if you have something that you love that is well established, that you consider a significant part of your life, you need to gatekeep it. People want to come in trying to and change. You say, nope, fuck off. This is it. You're not changing this. You want to do that? You go make your own thing. This is already established, and yeah, piss off.
Yeah, they need to make their own thing. I totally agree with that. And then if it's something good and people will like it, then there will be the audience for that. But turns out a lot of the time that's not the case, right? Like nobody ends up liking what they make, to be honest.
Which is why they try to invade the established things, because I think deep down maybe they know that what they like most people won't like, so they have to infiltrate the things that people do like in order to inject the things that they like and thus turn it all around. And they don't care if generally speaking people don't like it. Hey, at least they got their thing out there when they couldn't do it on their own.
Yeah, I completely agree.
This is the heart of every time you see a movie director or somebody go like, well, I wanted to tell my story. Yeah, but you weren't hired to tell your story. You were hired to tell my story. That was the purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, Doctor Who comes to mind on that one.
Yep. It's upsetting, but it's how it is.
Yeah.
Silencio Steve simply says beep. Thanks.
Oh.
Naminaman on Kick. Speaking of Milking Farm, we continue to fund the Palate Cleanser, the Tamer Book Club. I mean, I'll happily read things that aren't Milking Farm. In fact, I might be better. The Malcontent Girls, you have a chance to get Warhammer Lore from Arch. Use it. Where to begin, though?
Tree. Can I smell your feet?
That is ever the problem with a universe that large. Insane linguist, Islamophobia, when a non-Muslim knows more about Islam than he's supposed to. Yes, largely. It's a religion of peace. Well, no, actually. If you look at their book, they say we must kill all of the infidels. That's very Islamophobic. To be fair, the Quran is an extremely Islamophobic piece of writing. Kazam, when the people lose faith in the justice system, the people will become the justice system. GPS, while Hoglet is my Oshi spirit animal, enough civility, Leaflit likes Code Geass. Now let the violence. That's true. Code Geass is not a good TV show. You should be
really?
ashamed
You didn't
of
like
yourself.
it? Why is that? What's bad about it?
It's too fucking Keikakudori.
Fire
It's
is the answer.
People like that though. People love like that kind of Death Note-ish sort of thing.
See, the problem is, I think the divide here is very simple. If Death Note was your first Keikakudori show,
yes,
then you'll like it. If Code Geass is your first Keikakudori show, then you'll like it. For anyone who's already seen one of them, the Keikakudori trope gets old really fucking quickly.
I see. But like even I mean, there's an interesting twist in Code Geass that I liked, which is that he actually does fail in a lot of ways, and like he fucks up really bad in that one part in the middle, and then like he has to pretend like it's Keikakudori, right? Like he has to make it into the Keikakudori, even though he fucked up like royally. And I thought that was fun. That part was interesting to me.
There's appealing parts of Code Geass as well, though there are elements of it that are just. When he makes the princess hate all Japanese people, that was one of the dumbest plot points I have ever seen in my life.
You mean that's the part I was talking about, the part where he fucks up like his ability?
That was retarded.
It was like a point of him losing control though, which was really interesting. Because the entire time he was like, he was this smug dude who's like, well, I'm always thinking one step ahead. I always calculate everything. And then something completely outside of his calculations fucks him up. And he ends up just royally screwing this thing up, and then he has to like be like, okay, well, how do I make the best out of this, right? And then he tries to do that, and I thought that part was interesting actually for that reason.
That is a charitable interpretation of events. Yes.
It is a little Deus Ex Machina, I will say, but it was very like I thought that it served like as an interesting sort of forcing him to the ground in a way where he had to work around an awful situation.
There's okay, there was an anime which I can't remember the goddamn name of now, that did the Kekakudori trope in a way I quite liked without it feeling too Death Note. Like the problem with the Kekakudori note is it feels like it has like a expiration date. Like Death Note was very good, but then they finished it, and after ending Death Note, they still decided, no, we can keep going, and it made it so much worse.
Oh, you mean like the second half?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna actually push. I'm gonna push back a little bit. I did not like the second half of Death Note. I loved the first half of Death Note, but after they killed off L, I thought that they just completely destroyed the character of Light after he beat L. And then the second half of it, I did not like that second half of it. They changed the characterizations of so many key characters so poorly. Light was no longer as smart as he was in the first half. I absolutely hated what they did with Misa. I thought that the way they stupefied her was just grievously insulting. They started her off as being a not a genius, but she was very smart. She was an intelligent person. And then they literally turned her to a blonde bimbo. And then they replaced L with like his brother, whom I don't even remember his brother's name. That's how little of consequence he was to me. But like his brother, like the way they replace his brother, he ceased to be a foil for Light. Whereas you had like that interplay back and forth, the two minds battling one another in Light versus L, and it was very engaging. And then you had this L, for lack of a better term, L Light that somehow fucking beats Light because he pulls some shit out of his ass and says, haha, I beat you. And it's like, the second half of Death Note, I hated it. First part, wonderful. Second part, hate.
Yes, agree. Like, because again, the story was over. It was done. That was the ending. He beat L. Done. You finish your anime. But again, they decided, no. We're going to continue.
It's
That
hard
is
to end
one
it
thing.
on the note where the evil guy wins, I think.
I mean, it is, but like that
It's
in and of
unfulfilling.
itself.
Okay, counterpoint. Was Light considered the bad guy in Death Note though? Because while he was benevolent, malevolent. While Light was benevolent, would he be
Heresy's the
viewed
question.
as the bad guy
Fire
because
is
he
the
was the
answer.
MC and L was more of his antagonist? So to a degree, you could say L was the bad guy in
Well,
Death Note versus Light.
it's the actions. His actions are like the point at like which he starts
Guaranteed
killing
citizenship.
innocent people is when he basically has to be punished divinely by some way. So like it becomes unfulfilling when he's not. When the
Are
overarching
you
justice
ready
isn't
to rub
fulfilled.
this yellow mare's fluttery buttery
And I
butt?
get that.
True,
I
but at
even
the same
kind of agree.
time, it makes for a compelling story. At the same time, like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, like, but we as like a proper society, when we see someone like doing good, but then they like quote unquote turn to the dark side, it's like, okay, this person needs to be punished. But like him winning in the end, L being the victor in the end, and that's how they conclude the series, that would have made for a very compelling and emotional ending. Like, holy crap, he actually won, and what the hell's going to happen now that he's beaten his greatest foe and he's got the Death Note, and like what could possibly happen, and leave it up to the imagination of the viewer of like what might happen next. And like I think it would have been a lot more powerful than the way they continued on and ended it.
Because I agree with you, Leaflit. It would be a bit of an unsatisfying ending. But it'd be a lot more of a satisfying ending than the fucking alternative.
actually don't really mind
True.
the second half as much. Like I definitely don't think it's as strong as the first half. I definitely think the first half is better, but I don't think it was like completely like unsalvageably awful. I thought it was kind of mediocre, but it was still I think it's still, for me, it was at least preferable that they actually ended it in a way that was satisfying. At least like he got what he deserved at the end, I think.
It's like I don't disagree with you that like okay, it's like L should have gotten or Light should have gotten what he deserved because he did like go bad essentially. But the way in which they did it, like I really hated because they did the first half. They did the play, but the back and forth and the combating of two genius minds, and they did it so well. And it seemed like El's brother that took over the mantle of El, effectively speaking, for the second half was not didn't it was much more like smarmy and not as smart and didn't seem like a proper intellectual foil for Light. And because of that, it seems like they dumbed down Light's intelligence for the second half. And that's like if Light had maintained his genius, cunning intellect, and that El's brother could actually meet him with that level of cunning intellect, and you had that, you know, that combat of that
Well,
fight of combat of the
Are
minds,
you
like
ready
you
to
saw
wreck
with
this
Light
yellow
and
mare's
L. It's like,
fluttery,
okay, then yeah, it would have been a
buttery
really good conclusion. Like
Well, the
that he beat Light at his game, and it's just it didn't feel like it was as potent as the first,
well,
nowhere near as
trick or
potent as the
treat.
first half.
I
Can't
don't
fix
think
the
the point of the second
bumblebee.
half was that Nier was better than Light. I don't think that was the point. Oh, sorry, not Light. Better than L. I don't think that was the point. The point was that they needed two of them to in order to win, because there was Mello as well. So it needed the combined effort of them to defeat him, and that on top of the fact that Light basically he his folly in the end, like the reason he lost was because he put his trust in people that were not as sharp as him. So like his mismanagement of other people is actually what caused him to lose. On top of the
Okay, I can see that.
on top of again it requiring two people, and one of them, the other one, Mello, didn't play by the rules, which fucked with Light as well, because it was like kind of Mello's fault that
Okay.
he lost in the end. He
Okay,
didn't
yeah,
expect Mello
I
to
can see
do.
where you're going with that. Yeah.
Are you ready to
Yeah,
wreck
I can
this
see that.
yellow mare's
Yeah.
fluttery, buttery butt?
But again, like not as strong. Like it didn't have quite the emotional what's the word? It didn't have quite the emotion of L versus Light, because their dynamic was really, really good. They spent a lot of time together. Right? Which really made you
Yeah,
feel
that's
like, oh shit, you know, like you can tell that L knows, and you can tell that he knows he's, you know, this is gonna happen to him, but he still allows it to happen. Right? Which is
yeah, it's like
and-
you didn't have
yeah.
that closeness. You didn't have like there was a degree of, for lack of a better term, there was a degree of intimacy with the two of
Yes.
them. They were really close, both physically and mentally, and even like maybe even emotionally. Like there was a mutual respect between the two of them,
Mhm.
where they were playing this very complex game of chess, and like it was, you were really invested in their relationship,
And you can
basically.
tell at the
Their
end,
art, you know.
you can tell at the end that
Yeah.
Elle actually really liked him, right? And that was the
Yeah.
tragedy of it. That was the part that was so gut wrenching, was that he liked him. He really did. He felt like he was like really his only equal, his only friend. And then, you know, he faces that tragedy, and you lose a lot of that in the second arc, because the second half of it is more about revenge, right? Because it turns from a story of this tragic um lonely guy finally finding someone that he understands in a way, and then now it's that guy's brothers trying to avenge him, basically. So it's the emotional weight isn't as strong in the second half. Mhm.
That and like the characterizations of like Nier, I had forgotten his name. Like with Nier was like, I guess he was a bit too over the top, I think is the correct descriptor for like when you're you know, when you're coming off the heels of L, who was like he had some like quirks to him, but they were small and they were more subtle. And Nier had much more over the top mannerisms, which just
Mm-mm.
didn't feel right when you were coming off of the L light dynamic.
I mean, L was weird too, though. Like L was really, really weird. Like the way he held phones, the way he drank, and he sat. Like everything was weird about him.
It was
And
more subtle.
Yeah, so I think like the interesting dynamic is that you had the two completely different brothers at the end, right? You had Nier, who was sort of you would see him as a direct successor, and Mello was kind of like I do things completely differently than that. Like I'm sort of like I'm on the same team, but I'm like I'm not buying into this shit, right? Like I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah,
he was the reason, but Mello was the reason that Light lost, really.
I've got to rewatch that. It's been a long time since I've watched it.
Mm. I actually think Mello was more effective than Nier, to be honest. But it was like in a complete like that guy was he just did not give a fuck, right? And it's kind of what really messed with Light, I think.
Nella brought chaos and upended the table of order.
Exactly. He wasn't playing by the rules, so it messed with him.
I still don't like what they did to Misa in the second half, though. The way they absolutely stupefied Misa, I hated that.
Yeah, that was fair. I mean, yeah. And the funny thing is that I guess his folly, right? The other folly with Light is that he needed people that were absolute fucking simps. It was like the only way, because he was such a narcissist, that he needed people that would 100% only follow his orders, and that's kind of what fucked him over, is because he got like the dumbest simps, basically, like the guy that the other guy, right? And I forgot what his name was. The guy who put the thing in the bank, and he didn't follow the directions because he just was simping so hard. Yeah,
it's the producer guy or whatever his name was.
I forgot his name. He's the dude with the glasses.
I can't remember. I feel like I can't remember his name.
Mm-hmm.
I will maintain my position that the second half was awful, regardless of any other outside influence.
Well, what's a good anime to you? Like, what do you think is a good one? Like, what's like the as far as best writing, not like the junk food one, but like what's like the one that you think is solid writing wise?
Best anime. Okay, so my favorite is probably Baka to Test.
Mm-hmm. That's an old one, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's an old one.
It probably is old one.
I've heard of that one. I haven't seen it, but
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. I don't think
it's
old. I think that's 2000s, isn't it?
It is an anime that does the Keikakudori, but in a funny way, as it's more comedy. That is probably one of my favorite. The best anime I've ever watched, categorically overall, I'm gonna have to be quite basic bitch there and say Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because that one is great.
Good one. Yeah, it's a really good one to pick.
That is a fantastic anime, one of my favorites of all time.
It was very satisfying to watch that one.
Yes, very satisfying. Nice, long, good arc, excellent payoff, wrap up. And, everything except for that one episode with the dog was very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little dog.
A fucking dog.
Do you know about the dog fucker anime?
I have seen it. Yes, I've watched it.
Wait, you have? You seen Aquarian?
Aquarian? Was that his name?
Aquarian. Genesis of Aquarian.
I think I have.
Really? It's the one where it's like the mechs, and then the mechs it's like mechs that combine into one big mech, which is like, very anime trope. Except when that happens, everyone comes.
I've seen that one, but when you say dog fucker anime, I know a literal dog fucker anime.
Really?
Oh, dear God.
So I cannot, for the life of me, recall its name. but it's literally is that it? My Life as Inukai's Dog. Maybe that one. Because there's an entire anime which surrounds.
Yeah,
the
I think I know what
idea-
you're talking about.
Yep, where there's a dude who gets turned into a dog and a woman who falls in love with the dog, and it's really weird.
It's like I can't decide if that. Well, I have seen a couple episodes of that. I cannot decide if it's ecchi or if it's flat out freaking hentai. It's like it toes that really fine line between the two of them.
Well, you've actually seen Aquarian? Like, actually?
Yes, years ago. I can't even fucking remember it.
Did you see the second season?
I
It's like-
think I did.
Aquarian, so like, for this another Aquarian, it's basically like there's this war. It's sort of like Evangelion, where there's like these like angels, and they're trying to kill all of humanity, and then humanity has mechs, but the mechs like combine into like one big mech called Aquarian, and then everyone orgasms when they combine, all the pilots.
As one does.
Yeah, and then the whole plot is that the guy got the reason the angel is mad is because he got tricked into fucking the guy's dog. And like that was like literally the whole plot, and like you don't find out about this until like deep into season 2, and you're like, hold on, wait a minute. So the reason this guy, like, this is like 40 episodes in, and you're like, wait, 40 episodes and a movie, by the way. 40 episodes of the movie, and you find out like, wait a minute. So this guy has been salty the entire time because his gay angel lover tricked him into fucking his dog, and that's why he wants to wipe out all of humanity.
To be fair, that would make me upset too.
And don't even get me started on the second half has the fucking penis planet.
Penis.
Like there's
Oh,
the
you're kidding
there's
me.
So there's a planet, right? So in the second
Are you ready
season
to rut
takes
this
place
yellow
8,000
mare's
years later,
fluttery,
and it's the same
fluttery
conflict.
butt?
Like the angel's still mad because he got tricked into fucking the dog. And then he basically is like, there's like another planet that's like in a parallel world, and they basically connect to Earth, and then they steal all the women so that they can impregnate them and so that they can actually like reproduce, because everyone on the planet is a dude. But the problem is that when you have women on the planet, they grow dicks. So then like they have to keep capturing women because all their women turn into dudes. This is the actual plot of it. This is like parallel
Oh,
to the dog fucking thing. it's dude, and this
Oh my
thing
God.
this thing got 4 seasons, like 4 like double seasons, not like 11 episodes, like 24 episode seasons, 4 seasons, and an entire theatrical movie for this series. It's actually insane, and I don't know how the author keeps getting away with it. Like, how does he keep getting away with it?
He's just that good.
Is that good? There was a recent anime which okay, right. So the plot is there's a guy who gets reincarnated as a tiny cat.
Uh-huh.
This tiny cat then becomes the sexual object of desire for a big-titted elf woman.
Of course.
So she sleeps with the cat and does googly eyes at the cat, but she's still too subtle. So the author introduced a dragon girl whose entire personality is wanting to be bred by the cat.
You know, though, to be honest, I freaking love this because it's just like the level of just like, what the fuck? Right? And it's like, it's like a level of creativity, and like, even if it's cursed, it's just a level of like creative
It's
freedom
just
that you don't
glorious
fucking see.
degeneracy.
You don't see it. It's ridiculous.
Some
Well,
person sat
have
down
you
and
heard
thought, "Can I
about
get
the
away
new
with
one that
this?"
came out? There's a new one that came out. Oh, I'm gonna like it's behind you, Mr. It starts with a B. I forget where it's. I think it's only like 3 episodes in, and the entire concept is there is a guy who is an exorcist, and the way he exorcises ghosts is he has this female assistant who
Service
basically
guarantees
is his
citizenship.
bait. and she lures the ghost into a position, and then to exorcise the ghost, the exorcist, who is a very big buff dude, fucks the ghost into going into the afterlife.
Sucks the ghost in. Oh.
I am not joking. That is the plot. This exorcist literally bangs the ghost into wanting to move on.
That's amazing.
Anime.
It's like 3 episodes in. I'm pretty sure it's on Crunchyroll. It's it's incredible.
I could go on and on about cursed anime. I know so many.
Anime. Again, you got to give it to the Japanese. At least they come up with weird shit.
It's kind of
And
great
beautiful
though.
shit.
It's great because it's like it's creatively interesting, right? Like it's not the same. It's not like Marvel stuff where it's just the same every time. It's like these kind of what the fuck things. They kind of make you like what? I would never have thought of that, and it kind of it stirs a little bit of creativity in your mind of just like how the fuck did someone think of that? You know.
It's why anime is probably more popular in the Western world than standard than whatever the entertainment is putting out. I mean, to this day, like anime and manga are still widely like much more popular. Manga especially is widely outselling like comic books because it's just not only to get such beautiful creativity and just some absolutely like what the fuck plot points and storylines, but you have great characterization, you have beautiful artwork, and is it any wonder that manga is still far more popular than comic books? Same thing with like with Western, Western entertainment and Eastern like anime entertainment.
No? And they're allowed to get a lot way with a lot more interesting stuff too. And anime is not worried about subverting its own genres in interesting ways, not just subvert expectations. There was something Ashes, where you have a bunch of reincarnators in a new world, but the new world is actually dangerous. They don't have superpowers.
Grimgar Fantasy and Ash.
I love that one. That was
it's a good book. Have you read the book? It's pretty.
I've read the book.
Yeah, it's a novel actually, the original. But it. By the way, I gotta say though that I hate the way that the novel's written. It's awful. it's just it's terrible to read. But like the actual story is kind of interesting, like you said.
And it misses on occasion as well, like everything. Oh god, I hated the ending of Vinland Saga, the manga, which recently ended.
I haven't seen Vinland. I want to.
Me neither.
It's good to great in so many parts of it, but the entire manga's thrust is basically like an anti-war, anti-violence thing, and then it ends basically saying, you know what? No, violence and war is just the best thing ever. It's the only thing that works, and the protagonist is a blue-eyed idiot. Which is such a 360 from the entire fucking thrust and point of the manga through the entire purpose of it to just end up as, no. You know that war crazy motherfucker who's killing thousands of people in innocence on a continent? Nah, he's the smart guy. He's the good one. Such a weird fucking ending.
I gotta check it out sometime though. I heard that the rest of it was pretty good though.
Yes, there's long portions of it that's really, really excellent, and then eventually you hit Farmland Saga, where all of the action, all of the interesting things end, and you get to learn about medieval agriculture for 40 chapters.
Oh, jeez.
That is a staple of manga and anime, though, is they do love to inject a lot of like info dumping into their art. You see it with Gunsmith Cats had a lot of that. Was it the one where the lead character is a red blood cell?
Cells at Work.
I'm forgetting the name of it.
Yeah,
Cells at Work. Thank you. Cells at Work. Like they like you do see with like Japanese anime, Japanese manga, they do like to inject a lot of like teaching, a lot of education. Like, we're going to teach you about this stuff. They're going to teach you about how the different components of the human body work to protect you. And Gunsmith Gat's going to teach you, about firearm mechanics and teach you about engineering of firearms. And in this one, teaching you about how to farm. It's like it's kind of a staple of the genre.
Whilst other animes will teach you how to be a terrorist.
Was that
True.
Zankyo Terror or whatever?
Yep, that one was.
I remember that one. Yeah,
fascinating. That's a lot of me. That one was
back in the day. Yeah.
Again, like that's the thing I love about the East. They just greenlight the weirdest, craziest shit. They have such a much higher tolerance for stuff than we do.
I remember this anime. Yeah.
I came across a manga a couple years
because
ago.
they know it sells. They know, like, they greenlight it because they know this is what people want. People will spend their money on this.
And they're not afraid to take risks, even if it won't sell. And they're not afraid to appeal to niches.
This is what I'm hoping that AI is gonna help a lot with the West, is our ability to break free from Hollywood.
Yes. And honestly, lowering production costs, because a lot of the thing, too, is if you're going to have to create something that appeals to everybody, it's going to be bland slop. What I really hope AI will do is basically allow people to start doing just hardcore niche content that just appeals to a very specific demographic.
Well, yeah, that's where the freedom is, right? Is that the individual can create on a higher level, which makes it so they're not stuck. They don't have to have the approval of these big studios in order to create things.
Mm-hmm. Superlane on Kick. Howdy, everybody. How many gifted subs will it take to read Morning Glory Milking Farm on stream?
Oh my god.
Ladies, can't be more painful than mixtape.
Superlane, just no. I know he's angling at me. No, Superlane, I'm not
Heresies
reading
question.
fucking Morning
Fire
Glory
is the
Milking
answer.
Farm on stream.
Why not? You should do as I do. Let money rule. I had to read 3 of those books because chat made me. Others should suffer
On stream?
too. We did reviews. I pulled in other random people to talk about them.
I mean, I already reviewed 50 Shades of Grey. How much more punishment must I take?
Oh, much more. Much more.
Read Final Fantasy ABO content.
Oh, I don't know that. I'm not sure I want to know about it.
Iron, on the subject of games and remasters, there are games that they probably wouldn't touch and shouldn't, such as American McGee's Alice. That's a game series that deserves to be continued. Alex Adamson, it's not a crime, it's the first time I need to stop. I appreciate Asmongold's absolute scorched earth policy on criminality. Box. I don't even know what the fuck that refers to. God, I wish Superchat had timestamps.
I'm pretty sure he's referring I'm pretty sure this reference back to the court case we were talking about, where Asmongold was basically saying, I don't know what Asmongold said about this in particular, or I can't recall it. Probably, knowing him, is probably something along the lines of like the Somalis that were involved should be instantaneously deported, knowing the history of the one, probably imprisoned or worse. And my guess is that the judge should probably be thrown in jail. That would be at a hazarding of guess, knowing how
Service
Asmongold
guarantees
usually
citizenship.
thinks. That's probably what the reference is to.
I would like it if the judge ended up in jail, it is true. A small box. Frog Jupiter, leftist, if we have gun control, why not speech control? Also leftist, if we allow guns, even if it hurts kids for 2A, why not allow CSAM for 1A? Well, you gotta understand, the point of leftism isn't to have a coherent worldview, it is to try and destroy yours. That's what it is.
Power.
Yes, and whatever achieves that.
Well, these
is
are the
good.
same leftists that go, well, if you need a license, are you okay with needing to, like, get a license for a gun or needing to like register for a gun. So same, like if you want people to register to vote, are you okay with them registering for firearms? But it's like, dumb fuck, they already have to.
No one AI judges with a woke alignment by OpenAI sounds like a nightmare. ChatGPT is bad enough. Imagine giving it power. Which is why we'd have to be the ones controlling the AI judges. Which again is the problem. Somebody can control the AI, and so it's going to be screwed up.
Can I smell your feet?
Gain Hemlock's Jury of Clankers might be better than Judge Clanksworth. True. Archimedes, the best people to hold power are those who are too humble to seize it. Unfortunately, they also never get it. Frog Jupiter, what's sad is that judges in my country get re-elected because they're the only ones judged on the ballot box. Literally only can vote this judge or abstain. Well, yeah, because most people don't fucking want to bother with it. Again, that's the problem. The people who want power are, unfortunately, the ones who usually get it, even if they are not the ones who should get it. Insane Linguist, Destiny used to be paraded around as the moderate, and he was still goddamn unhinged to the point a lot of normies went, if that is a moderate, I don't want to see what a radical looks like. Well, that's kind of the Hassan-Destiny divide.
That's what I mean. Is like I don't think that anything he says is good. Destiny, right? But it's like that guy is still less crazy than Hassan. Like at least he doesn't want like another country like us to take care of another country's shit and wants like terrorism upon the United States and that 9/11 was good, right? Like it's like that the guy who doesn't want that is the guy that got kicked out, which is actually fucking hilarious. Like it's just so cooked, man.
Well, it kind of says something where that like that guy Hassan is scared of that guy, and thus he actually will do everything in his power to keep him from wherever he is. He had him kicked out of the DSA, from the DSA thing recently, and there was the time when he actually got recently when Destiny got unbanned back on Twitch, and as soon as that happened, Hassan was on his phone probably, texting Dan Clancy going, "Oh my god, how could you let this happen?" And 5 minutes later, Destiny got rebanned, and when he got the notification on his phone, you could see him smirk like, haha, got him. Like, if Hassan is that scared of Destiny, what does Destiny have to say? As unhinged as Destiny is, what does he have to say that's going to terrify Hassan so much?
Yeah, it's like I said, like I think that they're both like awful, right? Like I'm not saying that Destiny, like don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that I think Destiny is good or whatever. I'm just saying that like if you were to compare him to Hassan, right? Hassan is like openly like, yeah, I love the terrorists, right? Like he's openly pretty much like, yeah, we need to dismantle America and make a socialist state, right? Whereas like Destiny at least kind of sort of wants America to exist, even if the things he says are vile. And that's kind of the distinction I'm trying to make, is that like is that the guy who at least sort of wants America is kicked out, and the guy that's openly like, yeah, we need to dismantle America is the guy that's in the Democratic Party. So basically, the point is there is no refuge in the left. Their mainstream left is completely radical beyond any sort of recognition at this point. And that's the point that I'm making with the Destiny thing. I think Destiny is awful. Stuff he said about Charlie Kirk is awful, and everything he says is terrible. Yeah.
Mercenary, I blame the Davos crowd for this anti-people sentiment. Also, new Halo games. Do not buy it. I got it's bad. I mean, really bad. Too many glitches. Thummy, commies want war. Puppeteers and puppets versus all. It is the inevitable left-wing goal. Left wants to kill their enemies. That's the thing. There's no such thing as a moderate left-winger because he will always be overtaken by the more extreme one.
They want you dead, your wife raped, and your kids brainwashed, and they'll laugh about it.
Yep.
And experimented on. Don't forget about that part.
Have you seen the man who thinks he's a woman in a university in Florida? He freaks when he is called he and not a woman. That just sounds like any normal person at this time.
That was a crazy...
Leaf, I think you watched that. Yeah.
Have you seen that, Arch? That's like one of the
I've
craziest videos.
I saw it. I saw the video. I didn't watch it on stream because I'd actually watched several people reacting to it. So like you, Asmongold, and so on. So I've seen the video. It's like, oh, that cop had so much more patience than I would have had in that situation with him.
Turn to the other leaf. Hi, Leaflit. Hope you're doing well. I've been wanting to get into VTubing as a hobby, and I heard you're working on AI VTuber program. Can you tell us more about that and when or if it will be available? There you go.
My thing, it's basically what I'm using right now, but like slightly more advanced. Like it has like face tracking, so you can track emotions, and it has an emote system, but it's very similar to what you see on screen. And it's already out. It's on leo.angelstore.com under AS Adventure.
Mercenary X1, as I told Kurt, I just want to play video games that be left alone, and these people would not leave me alone. No, because you playing video games means you are happy. They cannot allow you to be happy. Your happiness is a danger to the system they wish to establish. Rob Davies, Leaflit in with the white pill. Optimism. And there comes Boog with girls. What is your favorite pony? I'm sorry, Boog. They don't know any ponies.
I don't know.
They
Sorry.
reject your ponies. Marksman Arch, show them the pony art. God help me, that guy is too good. It's so fun to see the ponies in slavery pulling a chariot. Why must you? Why must you be this way?
Service guarantee.
Tanisha, yes, the obligatory question for Arch's visitor: what is a main gouge?
Like for us?
The sword, like the companion to a sword, to a rapier.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah, there you go.
dagger,
They know.
isn't it, of some sort?
Dagger. They know.
Yeah.
I was never sure if it was like a dagger or if it was classified like as a short sword with a large
Yeah, it's
passive
like
hilt.
kind of in that range.
Technically a parrying dagger, so the latter.
I like the one that looks like a dick and balls. You know, that's that dagger. I've recently learned about that dagger. Looks funny.
Nathan Cassidy, I'm going to be contrarian in this and hope the bronies get angry about it. These folks are not ready for the weaponized autism they will activate. Well, I hope that the bronies will be radicalized onto our side.
You ignorant slut.
Daddy's built. I'm going doing my part. I joined my local party here in Maryland. The young folks and Dad's receptive to my ideas. The hard part will be replacing convincing the limp wrists in charge that is not the 2000s and stop being so scared. That will be difficult. Mr. Personality, entertainment is so bad that I've been watching AI slop and don't care to watch anything from Hollywood. Well, Hollywood has had a bad fucking year today. A very bad year. The Odyssey is the best they've done, and even it's probably going to end up at, I'd say around 500-600 million, which for a summer blockbuster is...
I broke down the math on that one. It's projected to, like right now, current projections are putting it at like 1.1 to
Are you
1.3
ready to ride
million
this yellow
at the
mare's
conclusion
fluttery
of its
buttery
theatrical
butt?
run, which is still not going to be great. Let's see. So I broke this down on Twitter. So you've got a $250 million budget, reported. You have a reported $150 million advertising budget, which I think is low. I think it's actually more closer to $250 million because typically advertisement is at least the same cost as production. But if you go with the reported budgets, total of $400 million, what the actual budget probably is $500 million. So the current ticket sales domestically are tracking at $225.3 million, international at $164.2 million, combined total of $389.5 million. That's current. Now the projected, not definitive, sales is looking at approximately 500 million US, 550 to 750 million international, combined worldwide of 1 to 1.3 billion at the conclusion of its run. And people are going to point out to this and say, "Oh, look, it's successful. It's projected to make $1 billion." Well, they're forgetting things. Number one, they're forgetting about the theatrical, the cut that the theaters take. which US is typically 30 to 40%. Overseas, typically 60%. I did not even factor in the IMAX percent cuttage on that one in my figures. That's something I didn't factor in. So basically, if you take that total, the U.S. is projected to make approximately 300 million domestically, 280 million overseas. So total, if we're going to round up, studio is looking to take in, after everything is all said and done at the conclusion of its theatrical run, studio is looking to take in 600 million, and that is against a $400 to $500 million budget, depending on which numbers are accurate, leaving them with a profit of maybe $200 million, which, while not anything to shake a stick at, it's still $200 million in profit for a Nolan film, and one that has been hyped up to the ever-living hell and back, as this is a grand, that Nolan is an auteur, and that this is his grand opus, and everything is going to be wonderful. It's still going to be a disappointment. It is. It's like...
I don't think it's doing quite as well as it keeps claiming. Wolfsbane, that's not Master Chief, it's Master Cheeks, and they forgot 2D on purpose because they got cheap. Mr. Rich Lopich, there were only 3 episodes, but Gunsmith Cats in 1995 had amazing detail animation of guns and a 69 Shelby Mustang GT500. Good series, too. Looney Lenny, it's why anime is so big. It's because they can make and write stories. No one in the West can write anything anymore except for Brandon Sanderson and small authors. Boog, they like AI. Show them the farm trailer. The farm trailer is not for public consumption. It is too disgusting for more normal people. It's too related to Milking Farm.
They really like Milking Farm.
Do you really like Milking Farm? But why would you like Milking Farm?
No, I mean, they really like it, your audience.
They do like Milking Farm. I've given them no reason to, but they're still there. Insane Linguist, the second the bean counter started calling the shots in entertainment, it all went to shit. Honestly, I would like to get the bean counters back. The people who were just like, we just want to make a profit. We don't care. We just want to make money. I like that. Those were the good times. Insane Linguist, corn parodies have consistently put more effort into costumes than the overwhelming majority of modern productions. Think about that. Well, they're made by people who actually do care and who also would like to make some money. Remember the Ember? I learned that in Death Row, there's no heaven or hell, really, so Light doesn't even get punished in the afterlife. It's kind of depressing and makes all the characters' struggles feel ultimately meaningless. CF Maximus.
Hang
on.
No, it's just... Yeah. I don't know.
Are you ready to run
Brandon,
this yellow
for
mare's
$100. Did
buttery,
someone say,
buttery
show
butt?
the new guest the Milking Farm trailer? Get in it, Arch. Kibella and Conan. But why? Why do I have to do this? Okay, fine. Right.
Wait, there's a trailer for this?
So, since chat made me read Milking Farm, I made an AI trailer for Milking Farm.
My goodness.
And now apparently you have to watch it too. So, I apologize.
Hey, I'm braced.
Archer's Mexican
Are
Entertainment
you ready to rut this yellow mare's fluttery, buttery butt?
presents Milking Farm. A love story that only a woman could enjoy. A tale of sticky liquid love and of passion in its most viscous form. I won't lie, this will not be wholesome. Prepare yourself for the most disgusting, morally vile and objectionable, yet still somehow feminist adventure of your life.
I am a good feminist.
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 Milking Farm. Book 2. Breeding Clinic. Coming soon. Quite literally on a screen near you.
Same people, by the way, that say that guys are disgusting for liking porn, right? Like,
I mean, it was an excellently done trailer, I must say.
Excellently done trailer. I don't know if I'd agree, but chat has taken a liking to it now. On the bright side, I mean, qualitatively it's quite impressive, even if the subject matter is perhaps not. I look forward to using AI for slightly more wholesome adventures in the future, perhaps. CF Maximus, what the people ruining the economies of Western countries seem to want is public-private partnership, where taxpayer debt subsidizes woke flops. Yes. Yes, they do. Private-public partnership. Some ugly, I pick weird hands over Helen of Detroit's Hollywoke. That's true, Helen of Detroit is pretty terrible. Marksman, Arch recommended Movlo and Utavaramano to these two, and why those are so great. It's hard to pick between the two. That's true. Okay, if you like anime, you definitely should check out Utavaramano, which does actually have an anime now.
Underwater Ray Romano.
Indeed. It is a very long and very dumb title.
I really like Leaf Aqua Plus, though. That's like, I love their company, like Too Hard and Tears Tiara and stuff like that. I'm very inspired by it. Their IPs.
Very
you know,
old.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Very, very old anime, but I'd recommend it. From based on a 2000 visual novel. Good stuff.
I was that girl for Halloween. The Aru.
Was Araru or Araru the old one or the young one? I don't remember now.
Aru is the older one. So like me and my mom dressed up for Halloween, and my mom was the older one, and I was the younger one.
There you go. Very wholesome. Nathan Cassidy, a lot of the AI haters refuse to understand that normies always settle for good enough. There's a reason why Fast and Furious is still a thing. That's true. Marksman, Goals and Panzer is fucking amazing, and it has no right to be. I love watching actual tankers watch and be surprised by how accurate it is in the details. Still waiting on the final movie. I did how true they were to the Spanish.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier.
Girls and
That's kind of like what I was talking about earlier. How they love to put stuff into their animes, like to educate people about real life stuff.
See, with Girls and Panzer, what I loved about it is I expected to hate it because I'm a little bit of a tank autist myself too. But they strike a perfect line between having enough tank autist stuff and making it so incredibly ridiculous with tanks drifting around corners that you can't take it serious. It's a perfect blend where it takes itself just serious enough and then not at the same time.
I have to watch this. I actually haven't seen it.
It's really, really good. The only problem is they decided to make basically the third season of the show a series of movies instead. And they've been making those movies for like fucking 6-7 years now at the speed of molasses.
By the way, I have a question. Do you know the plot to Underwater Ray Romano?
No.
Did you know that if you don't, like, this is the actual plot. If you don't fuck your best friend's sister, she dies.
Wow. I mean, that is very understandable.
Yeah, that's the actual story. Is that the divine cum heals her.
And why wouldn't it?
Just checking.
I mean, you can't. It's enemy logic.
I see no problem with this. I mean, it's your best friend's sister. It's not even your own sister.
She's also blind and bedridden.
Well, so what?
Oh, because
So
of
what?
course.
That was one of the romance targets in Utoara Mono. The blind girl.
Yeah.
Didn't she die regardless, though?
She dies if you don't fuck her.
She lives if you fuck her?
Yes. But
Huh.
I think the canon is that she dies, I think, is the canon. I'm not sure. I think that's the canon is that she dies, but I don't remember. Just a long time ago.
Mercenary. Also, they're not going to make not going to Angry Joe for shilling. They are not going to Angry Joe for shilling. Don't worry, he does it on his own. He does it voluntarily. Ah, poor Angry Joe. He's the last of the dying old breed of people who became popular on YouTube, then started kind of hating the reason why he got popular on YouTube, and now he's just kind of there, existing.
Yeah, he's posting today about. I saw him posting today about the Odyssey. He was just going on and on saying like, oh, people like Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker have to take their L because Odyssey is actually such a great success. And it's like I don't know what happened to him. I used to actually watch him. He was actually enjoyable, and then he's had such a turn in the last 2 years. Hasn't even been. I would say it hasn't even been that long. It's like maybe in the last 2 years, he's just had such this turn where he's become unlikable. And I don't know what happened to him.
Well, what happened to most of his kind? They were always liberals deep down. They haven't really learned what's going on. They don't understand anything. And so they're just clinging to this world where, in his understanding, YouTubers don't create opinions on media. You can't judge a movie before it comes out, etc. It's like, no, we can. We understand what's going on. The simple fact is that people like Nerdrotic simply understand the culture and the cinematographers a lot better than Angry Joe does.
Well, this thing, he was like Angry Joe. He's a gamer guy. His whole thing was gaming, and then he branched out into movies and TV, and then you started seeing the change. Like when he just did what he enjoyed doing, which was talking about games, it was generally fine. You could disagree with some things he said, you could agree with some things he said, but then he started doing like full sit-down reviews of movies and TV shows. And you could see the change in his demeanor and his attitude when it comes to conducting his own program, because we started to see more of game reviews, which were not his typical style, with him standing in front of the green screen and talking about the games, intercutting clips. Like, we're starting to see more of those round table discussions with him and OJ and Alex, and he just started moving away from the thing that people really enjoyed seeing on his channel in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yep, no, he's an old G guy who started disliking what he did. It's version of burnout, I guess. Lee Blue-Knitter, let's see the greats are Skybrows, Captain Rude, Hyde, Hollyball, Leaflit, and Grumpy. Can't add myself because I'm just starting out. AI creators, I'm assuming.
Yes, they are pretty like Skybros, especially. Skybros kicked this all off. He is a very skilled AI creator. He's done music videos that are phenomenal. Like, his style is outstanding. And he is kind of the reason why we have seen so many people get into the AI creation space, especially with like short form content like music videos, where Grumpy Whiskers, Holy Ball, a couple people have done for me, like someone that's coming new on the scenes, Lebluinator. He's, from my community. He's really started to get into it. He's making some absolutely fantastic work. And like, they are becoming the new message carriers of our generation, along with Leaf. I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't, include Leaf in one of these with her beautiful works that she's done. This is kind of the new AI music video creators are becoming the new MTV, I think, is the best way to put it. And they're getting a lot of attention. A lot of people are loving their art. A lot of people are loving their music, and they're all phenomenal. It's a whole. This could end up being like a whole new genre. And Skybros is the one to start it. He was the one to inspire so many people to go, hey, he did this incredibly well put together, visually stunning, auditorily phenomenal music video, and he did it all with AI. Why can't I do that? Why can't I learn how to do prompts and do what he's doing? And we've just seen an explosion in art and creativity since, and it's a wonderful thing. I absolutely love it.
That's good to see. I hope it continues to evolve, grow, and become more interesting, more widely available to more people. Yakuta, AI is heading towards the age of the droids. We'll start making standalone models that can't be corrupted by the internet at large and have to start annually wiping them before they become sentient. I don't think we need to worry about sentience just yet. Galgaia, a great AI channel, is Gossip Goblin. Highly recommend. Life is Priceless, the second cycle of humanity in particular. YouTube channel. Lord Commissar Spartan's been a member for 39 months. Dev was on the Kirch episode, yes. Also, you should mention the pencils. I should never mention the pencils, no. Insane Linguist. I knew Anki Joe was a lost cause the moment he sided with Anita. Classic. The Wicked Witch of the West herself.
Yeah. Hasn't she been back in the news lately for something?
I don't know.
Didn't she pair up with didn't she pair up, and this caused some controversy, with the Dabs from Slay the Spire 2?
Oh, they hired her as a consultant for something, yes.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Probably just like a pity hiring, honestly. Like, here, have some money because, you're a person that we like. Yakuta, Arch, you don't have to rewatch anything. That's what AI is for. The bot can suffer in your place. Summarize the Rings of Power for me. GPS, a story about identity could be interesting. I'm a barber, I'm a mother, I'm an older sister, I'm a effing queen. Equestria is a matriarchy. But in current year, it's likely thinking Conan. It's like thinking Conan will be great. Yeah, the problem is I know what identity means now. It's going to be progressive identity. Pudding Simon, I hope I will be alive for the rise of the new painter. The Austrian Man 2.0. Abdman, hello all. Hello. Welcome. Slightly Mad, public service announcement. There is a dangerous predator on the loose. The police won't protect you. You're distracted at any time, but nowhere is safe. Can you afford to not buy foot insurance? Waterk Fire, shot the milking farm trailer and the baby catapult. Only one terrible thing at a time, Jesus. Dorian, Arch, in my D-Day, Cobra from Geeks and Gamers. He Trump's biggest glazer, and one of Star and Craig's friends he would be interested to have on. Maybe. Builder, hello Art, any updates on your science fiction tabletop games? It continues to progress. Simple as. It keeps going forward. Valimio, speaking of Milking Farm, you should mention the male romance rabbit hole that started with Trailer Park Hills. Ponymal, game funds of hard choice.
Heresy's the question.
Yes, so
Fire is
the
answer.
disgust at Milking Farm made me start looking into male romance, because I was like, okay, if the female thing is this bad, how bad can the male stuff be? So I figured that won't be funny at least. Well, turns out the male romance is actually normal and sane and focused around relationship instead of just constant mentions of dicks. So Now I'm on a personal crusade to make male romance in fiction more accessible. They're both horrified.
I was actually just thinking, like, could I write something like that?
That depends. Are you thinking of Milking Farm or the male romance side?
The male romance side. I was just thinking, like, could I write something that be like male? Well, honestly, some of my stuff already is male role, like quote unquote male romance esque in that nature, and that it's not freaky and just focuses on the heart and goodness and love.
Probably could. I mean, the only reason we don't anymore is because we've had this strange corruption of relationships. This has happened throughout the movies and video games, especially movies, where romance becomes more centered on the end of romance, just banging, rather than the actual build-up of the romantic relationship.
Yeah, the whole concept of like the chase, the courtship, that really does seem to have just like flitted away out of anybody's mind, and now it's just all about we'll have the meet
Service
cute, and now
guarantees
let's hop in a
citizenship.
bed. And like there's this huge this huge part in the middle that everybody's just seeming to, I don't know why, but just seeming to want to bypass. Maybe because to the average person that's wanting this jump from one to the other thinks it's boring, and it's the whole concept of, well, people have short attention spans now, so like going through the dating process and learning about someone and developing feelings and emotions for them, they just want to get past that because their attention span is so short. It's like, okay, we've got the meet cute, I'm attracted to this person, okay, let's move right and jumping into bed, so because then we can move on to the next thing. It's the whole concept of like it consume. Ironically enough, it's like consume product and then get excited for next product. We'll do the meet cute, jump into bed. Now I've got to look for the next thing to like spark my dopamine levels or something.
Uh-huh. Very possible. Yakata, Leaflit, quick angel sword question. Are all the classes able to be chosen at level 1? Or are they like evolutions of a base class? Also, where can I see this game being played? I learn better watching rather than reading a PDF.
There's a lot of people streaming it. I'd suggest like General Gravy. There's a lot of streams on it. But you can take most of the classes so the way it works is certain classes require another class as a prerequisite, but there are a lot that you can choose at level 1, especially with the feat system, because some of them are unlocked by having a certain elemental like mastery, which you can learn through feats. So there's a lot that you can access like early on, but some of them, the ones that are natural progressions, for example, you can't get Pyromaster without Pyromancer, and that's because you need the skills from Pyromancer, because those skills actually tie into the skills for Pyromaster. So that's the only time really where it's like a hard lock where you have to do that. And the other thing is like some of the tier 3 classes require you to have one class mastered first. So at level 1 though, you start with one class. You can start with one class completely mastered. You can already be in tier 2. So it's not really that it's not really, you can get classes quite fast in it. And it's just rpg.angelsword.com, games free to play.
Marine Alva, War of Rights or Angels Fall First must be indie. July, where all the indie games launch or release updates. Marksman, Leaflet, you know your guns. What is the 350mm handgun?
The 350mm handgun? I don't know.
It's a reference to my other co-host who managed to say out loud on stream that she owns a 357mm handgun.
I don't know.
So that's the thing now. It's just a railgun. Prior Wolfen, only 700 plus likes on a weekly haughty harlots on the internet stream. Shame. 143. How are we doing? We did meet our like goal, actually. 1,800 likes. Very good going, chat. This is good. We need likes. Likes is the only metric YouTube gives a fuck about these days. Or, well, the only one that appears that it gives a shit about anyways. Who even knows how YouTube works anymore? I don't.
Well, I don't. It's just, I've stopped trying to figure it out.
It does what it does. Jamie 1, with AI, why bother to learn any skills or even ability to think and problem solve? Well, I can
You need
answer
those
that one,
things
even.
in order to. You need those things in order to do AI. So
Yeah.
Yes, the AI
Yeah,
don't do those
That's
things for
been
you.
yeah. That's been the argument that I've been hearing in regards to AI, and it's one of the complaints I've been hearing is so many like students in like high school and college aren't actually trying to do their work anymore. They're just having AI do it. And the argument is, well, why should I bother to learn it? AI can just do this for me. So I shouldn't even have to worry about trying to learn any of this thing in school, which is the completely wrong attitude because AI can go down. Systems can go down. And if you don't have the skills or the knowledge that you learned in just basic high school or even in college for a degree that you're working on, you're going to be SOL because the systems went down. And now what are you going to do? You're going to tell your job, sorry, I can't do my job because the AI is down. They'll get fired.
you're more effective as a AI user if you have the skills in the first place. Like my mom, for instance, she's a programmer, and she has a much easier time using coding AI than I do because I have no fucking clue what's happening. So yeah.
Realty Backhand, speaking of tabletop games, Arch, I remember you and several of your friends holding a Blood Bowl tournament. Whatever happened to it? I would love to watch it. And I would have loved to show it to you, had we actually managed to finish the damn thing. But internal drama nonsense. It's strangely difficult to get 6 adults to cooperate for an extended period of time. Marine Alpha, there was a point where X-Wing miniatures surpassed 140,000 in terms of sales. Fantasy Flight Games merged with Asmode during the pandemic, gave it to Atomic Mass Games, who flushed X-Wing and Armada down the toilet. That, and the main issue with the Star Wars miniature game was that it was popular because it was Star Wars. But then Disney started making their versions of Star Wars, and then nobody wanted Star Wars anymore. Requires some thought, says, my concern is that too many of us assume that when or if we win, legally and fairly, do you also think these zealots will just vanish? Violence is coming one way or another. I'm not happy, but be real. Well, even if they don't disappear, they won't disappear with the violence either. Just need to change the culture. We need to make their position ridiculous. And it won't be permanent. Nothing is ever permanent. You cannot break the wheel. Take the Game of Thrones reference, but you just gotta do the best you can at the time. The Sasquatch Trench Crusade looks like an interesting alternative to 40k. No, it doesn't. It's gay and dumb. And I have videos calling it gay and dumb. Rob Davis, time to tell them about Trench Crusade, Arch. Nope, gay and dumb. Nolly, speaking of GW's long and sad history of miserable failures, if one heads to the Warhammer store, you would see that GW has incorrectly labeled the Death Corps of Krieg Grenadiers as engineers. And you will yell at them for that. I expect you to. 72 archetypes, people politics. Leftists remind me of Agent Smith's humanity is a virus speech. The only thing wrong with his speech was he painted with too broad a brush. Otherwise, a perfectly logical perspective on subversives. Alex Adamson, I enjoy Code Geass because it portrays the British Empire as people think we were, and how I wish we acted. All hail Britannia, master of the world. That's true. It is a good little ego boost for the Britons, especially considering how terrible they're having things today. Prior Wolfen, please do not get me started on the ending for Death Note. I fail to see how anyone can like the series have the Deus Ex Machina grade trash they pull. Trogan, evening all Arch, ask you guess which they know of. Vandred, Blue Gender, or Girls Bravo? Put this towards the Palworld Smasher Pass. All right.
Vandred was pretty good.
Vandred, that's the one with the mechas.
Trying to remember.
That was the one where the women are monsters and men were once their playthings. like have like the propaganda video where like women were like literal aliens with like eating men alive and stuff.
Yes, I remember Van Dread, and I remember really enjoying it too. But
The
Girls
only
Bravo.
thing I knew about that was Blue Gender. I'd never heard. I'd only heard of Blue Gender. I can't recall seeing any of them. No, unfortunately.
Blue Gender. I think I watched it, but it's been so long I can't even fucking recall. I do remember Girls Bravo because that was the first full anime I watched, and it is the most ecchi anime ever produced. With weirdly extremely excellent animations for some strange reasons, like incredibly high animations quality for just a tits and ass anime. It was just a time, I guess. Even the tits and asses needed to jiggle convincingly.
Edgy always gets top-notch animation.
Freyna on Kick, the stick, and always the stick. The stick, and forever the stick. Pal World Smash or Pass. There we go. The Pal World Smasher Pass is only like $200 away from being funded, chat. So get on it. More Pal World Smasher Pass.
It's hilarious.
The Squatch. You ever see Higurashi or another? I've seen Higurashi. Yes, I saw the original one back in the day. LCBL Anime Guy. Hey, Leaflit, would you support a project where we take Azul Lane and make TV show like The Pacific, but with anime ship girls and gritty ground combat?
Azul Lane with... Sorry, can you repeat it again? My mom tapped me on the shoulder right then.
Azul Lane, but with like the TV show Pacific, with gritty combat.
That would be awesome, actually.
I think I'd be sad. I don't want to watch the ship girls be sunk.
Hey, Arch, I hate to do this, but I have a meet and greet. I gotta go.
That's fine. Thank you for coming on.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, Ember. I'll leave you here like this as well.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
And yeah, thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
See
Have
ya.
a good one. Take care.
Bye, Leaf.
Leaflet, another victim of the unending super chat reads. Many have fallen before its greed. It's quite common. It's a bit of a meme, but half of these freaking streams are usually just reading super chats and then talking about whatever the super chats say, which is a thing.
I mean, it's a great topic generator.
It is. Wolfsbane, you know what would have fixed Death Note? Columbo. But the man, have any of you three watched Death
Fire is
Parade?
the answer.
Death Parade.
Death Parade.
Death Parade. Name rings a bell.
I don't know. Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
Yeah, I think, yeah, no, I know this. I know it. I watched like 3 episodes and got bored, and I don't even know why. I don't remember anything about it at all.
No. Oh, okay. I'm aware of it. It's okay. I did a quick look up on it. It's one of those like you die and you go to like a bar and there's different characters in these bars. Yeah, I'm familiar with it, but I never saw it.
Trogan for another $100. Thank you very much, sir. This will be missing the Lumion Saga Odyssey stream, which was longer. Palworld, Smasher Pass. Why, chat wants me to have sex with animals. It keeps doing this.
You will have it, Arch, and you will like it.
Oh, Tarring.
Hello.
This is
Also, I'm here to ask,
He's
why
gay.
did you... No, every time. I can never have a normal conversation with anyone, because everyone just keeps saying, oh, Atari, he has this sexual preference. But Also, Arch, why? Why did you? I watched the. I was wondering why you raided into me the other day, and why you raided into me while I was doing unscrupulous things in 3D. And then I rewatched your stream with Saga, and I was like, oh, Atari, he's doing something perverse. Chat, go, go bother him.
Of course. And now all of China knows you're trans.
No, I'm not. Also, hello, Ember. Chat, punish him. Power word smash or pass. Go for it.
Actually, Atari, it's kind of funny. When I actually did up a frolic for you when you were on side scrollers, I'm just sorry that they never had the opportunity to show it.
Oh wait, it was?
Gasp.
I would love to see it. Gasp.
Hang on, let me see if I can find them really quick. Give me 2 seconds. I did 2 of them because I didn't know which, because I wasn't overly familiar with content, so I wasn't sure which affect would be more applicable for you. Where'd it go? Don't tell me I lost them. I will. Archie, you keep going, and I'll hunt for it in my files.
Buckley named a shiny Mega Raichu after you, Leaflit. There you go. Raichu. I always thought Raichu was a bit of a downgrade from Pikachu. Didn't like his design. Looked too fat and flabby. Jamie 1, I prefer the look of 80s and 90s anime. Everybody does. It's better. It's just better. Max
You
Waldman?
say that, chat, but you don't want. You don't remember what the 3D looked like back then, or how bad some of the scenes was. You say you do. You think you do, but you don't.
That's true. There was some bad CG back then. And Max Swordman, either 2 nukes was too many or too few for the sins of anime. I'm not sure which. Chat has taken up putting little trans flags in chat when Atari shows up. Good, I encourage this. Do it more.
Arch, I found them. I found the 2 gifts that I made. I dropped them into live links.
Let's see.
Now these I have to see.
Will this open where it's supposed to? It will. There you go.
So this was one. Again, I did 2 of them because I wasn't sure which affect would be more appropriate for you. So I did 2 of them. This was one.
Oh,
definitely the feminine one.
I was going to say, knowing me, probably a mix of both.
Yeah, the masculine one is definitely not Atari.
No, but I'll leave it up to public opinion on this one. I trust them more at this point. But thank you, Ember. It looks beautiful. I appreciate both. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, more trans flags in chat for Atari.
No, chat.
Make him feel welcome.
You can't. I'm not kids. Chat. You can't do this to me.
Do you wear programmer socks? See?
Not now.
Navaga, talk about Saga of Tanya the Evil, aka Little Fura doing war crimes. Season 1 was great, and I'm now looking forward to Season 2. I'm going to wait until it's done, then I'm going to binge it. Sure, it'll be lovely. There's been a couple of weak seasons of anime recently, so I'm hoping there'll be some good one soon.
Yeah, this Ghost in a Shell recently released one. Then Tanya the Evil, as you mentioned, has been... Like, I've heard people in my friend zones mention this is like a very, very strong anime, like, time for anime, because there's a lot of heavy hitters, but I'm very lazy with it. I have not watched any of it.
Yeah, but like I've heard about the new Ghost in the Shell. My chat has been trying to get me to watch it. I haven't had time. It's just I have a bad feeling. I love the OG Ghost in the Shell, and it's going to be really hard for me to watch a new version of Ghost in the Shell and like be able to appreciate the way I really appreciate the original.
Every time I think of Ghost in the Shell, I just think of the author. When he was also questioned, why did you make the main character gay? It's like, because I refuse to draw a man's butt while I'm making love with the main character in my OC.
There you go. Simple as. An easy explanation. Yokota, there's the rehashed anime slot, then there's the dark rehashed anime slot, like Radio of Healer, and the level 9999 gacha anime. Yeah, I'm it's too similar. I can't watch that shit anymore. There needs to be something weird and unique about it. Marksman, Arch, you should tell them about your journey into male literature. It's also Terry Park Elves now. You're interviewing authors. Ember could read one on her stream. Well, it would be nowhere near as terrible as the milking farm. While you're hating, what do you wish the plot of Amazon's 40k will be? I want Imperial Guardsmen. I want Cyphers Kane. I want them to do Cyphers Kane. Screw the Space Marines. I don't want Space Marines. I'm sick of Space Marines.
The less they,
Space Marines.
I think the less they touch Space Marines, the more promising it is. Because I think if they go for Space Marines, I know they're just doing it they want the flashy big hitter. They want the Marvel figures, but if they go for, as you say, Caiaphas Kane, then you actually have like a potential story and like that hits all the field work they actually want to hit, and that actually can work.
Yeah, and part of the issue you're going to be running into is there's been such an oversaturation of Space Marines in like the public eye. Like everything that's come out Warhammer lately has just been Space Marine, Space Marine, Space Marine, and it hasn't given an opportunity for like this gargantuan sized wealth of lore to breathe and be introduced to normies who are complete. Like normies will probably recognize the Space Marine because it's so iconic. It's been put everywhere. There's so much lore though, like people in chat talking about Slanish, and most people are gonna be like, "What the hell is that?" Nobody's gonna know. So moving away from Space Marines would be good because it would give other people an opportunity to know about something else that exists within the 40k universe.
Yeah, and also Space Marines are supposed to be extremely rare in the setting. Like there are like a handful left in the galaxy on both like sides, both Chaos and Imperial. Never like even when a Renegade, even if you ask them, but like they're not the common thing to find within the Imperium. They are the poster boys, but they are not common. The common thing you're gonna find is Guardsmen, and those are the more interesting stories you can find because Space Marines are not really human in a sense. They're war machines to an extreme degree.
Anything not Space Marines. Imperial Guard.
Yes.
War was Doom. Since you guys are talking about anime, one of my favorites is Black Lagoon. I'm still pissed that Crunchyroll took it off their platform. Black Lagoon is very good.
Black Lagoon is like the peak, especially the OVA episode. I really need to rewatch it. It's so good.
Black Lagoon is very, very good.
However, I can never take a Luger up seriously after one scene.
Blade Warrior Futari Ecchi was my introduction to education. To sex education, I'm presuming. Futari Ecchi. That was a whole anime that taught old people how to fuck. I remember that.
What?
It was an anime about 30-year-old people getting together and having sex, and they were like, we need to teach these people how to do it.
Sounds like a psyop to get the older generation in Japan to make more kids because they're desperate.
The Squatch, there's sort of an AI anime news channel on YouTube. Just look up at World War III anime. Leblunator, hey, look, the Twin Towers. Metal Gear Solid 2 next month. Kisama is Ishoku Reviewers taught about femme hyena biology. That's true. The Otherworld harem, no, not harem, whore prostitute reviews. That one was fun. Fenrir, best anime of all time, is Legend of Galactic Heroes. I have been watching that recently. It is quite good. Mercenary, Hassan, and Destiny are the same thing to me. Both need to go to Guantanamo. I trust neither to be civil. Mr. Memetic, Destiny is Hassan's biggest competitor when it comes to streaming to the far left audience. So obviously, he don't want him. Don't want him. Black Bull, communists are like Linux fanboys and Dallas Cowboy fans.
Service
Every
guarantee
year is their year. Dame Sheep, based on the criticism of Death Note, you would love Japanese live-action movie trilogy, not to be confused with the Western adaptations. McKenna's and Duty, remember, if you're asked favorite pony, say Ariana. Atari, what's your favorite pony?
I'm not. I guess you mean MLP, because I not watched a lot of it, as I mentioned before, but Rarity is the one that seems to be the most proper one out of all of them.
There you go. Rarity is the correct answer. Marksman, I just learned the Skybro's a VFX artist and worked on Invincible. He crafted the scene of Omni-Man destroying the alien homeworld. Art, if you react to any of his music videos, he will cameo you and most likely use your cat VTuber model. It'll be fun. But do I want to use the cat VTuber model?
You have it, use it. You have no excuse.
I do. My laziness.
Ah!
Freyna,
Ember,
add this
you
to
gotta
my
help-
previous one to
help us push it.
Homeworld. I need to do a thing where chat can unlock the cat, but I'm too lazy to do that as well.
Just have open VTube Studio and just have it done, and then you pull it up when
But
you need it.
why?
But chat call. That's why. Don't be lazy, Arch. It's just another thing. You know, you instead of preparing your stream for 10 minutes, you can just prepare it for an extra 5 minutes. You just open. All you have to do is just open one or two things.
I will not take advice from a Swede.
Damn you.
Marine Alva, you know they will give Odyssey an Oscar. Yes, probably several, actually. Prior Wolfen, it isn't that we like Milking Farm, it's just that this is our whip to use an art. And where's the whip? There's a way. Where there's a whip, there is a way. That's a good song. Counterstructure, I'm late. Did he show the puppy tank? I did not show the puppy tank. Father Jack the Enlightened, after seeing it, Ember, are you a good feminist?
No, I'm a terrible feminist.
Terrible feminist. Archimedes, just a few more likes, guys. Always more likes. Always more likes, chat. Likes good. The Sasquatch, an animated Boondock Saints would be amazing. That actually would be kind of interesting, yes. Not Mandak.
That could be pretty cool.
It would be. Doing your best friend's sister is breaking the bro code. No, it isn't. It's his sister. It's fine. He's not going to have sex with her, I hope. Floofer, to a Malcolm X Arch collab in the future. Malcolm X? Marine
I think
Elva.
it means Malcolm and Arch.
Maybe. That might be more sensible. Male romance is because it is easier to get laid than it is to get a girlfriend, let alone lasting relationship. This is true. Relationships are difficult.
True.
Brain Alva saw another protest at a Tesla dealership today. Are they still going with that?
Well, they're going to keep going because Elon keeps making the news. And so, you know, there was that one interview he did with The Economist, I believe, recently, where basically he put the editor-in-chief in her place when she tried to gotcha him about 10 different ways. And he's like, you know, the news with him making the AI version of the Odyssey. If he's in the news, people are going to protest at the Tesla dealerships.
That is probably true, yes. Where was I? You've been scrolling, little thing. Tanushi, I'm asking against my better judgment, but what are your thoughts on Kotaku's article on MT? And Arch, with your interviews with male romance writers, what's your take on jobless reincarnation? Jobless reincarnation. Kotaku's article on MT. MT?
Beats me.
Oh, Mushoku Tensei.
No
Jobless
clue. I don't
reincarnation.
read Kotaku.
I really like Mushoku Tensei. I don't like the anime. Weirdly, I like the first season and I kind of like the second season, but I don't know. It doesn't quite have the pacing of the manga. I still like the manga, but I don't know, the anime didn't quite capture me. I don't know why. Lord Kamina, There is a Columbo Death Note video. I'm afraid to ask. Black, hail ArchCast, Lord and Savior. Hi, Ember. Hi, Atari.
Hi.
Marine Alva, Kibbs need a bottom. Tom, Atari fits.
Pardon?
The Malcontent, the Odyssey income isn't that impressive when you realize that Nolan will make 20% off the gross, and that's 10 million. 1 million tickets domestic. Alex Anderson, it was such a good idea to have both these girls on at once. Whoever came with that idea deserve praise, don't they, Arch? No. Black 917 for the calendar. Ari Miyazaki from Tenchi Mu GPX. What place is my girl in? That is a good question. We shall find out. We'll see if I spelled her name correctly. That'll make it easier to find in my big dumb document. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6th place. So nice and safe. Everything considered. Nice and safe. Nolly. It's what gave Dark Tide, I'm assuming, appeal. No Space Marines to be found. And while my heart soars for the guard, I could offer up an interesting proposal. The Adeptors are righties, so you more than 40k dread. It probably would just be 40k dread, though. That's a problem. It would just be 40k dread, because they are kind of 40k dread. Marksman Arch Chat means warned them about the false promise that is French Crusade, a game about heaven versus hell, and is somehow setting that's morally grey, and there's no good guys. It is indeed bullshit. It is dumb. It is gay. As I said, it is dumb and it is gay. And finally, on a super chat, Marksman Sensha no Kaitaka, or the art of raising a tank, is a manga about raising pet tanks. From the size of puppies that grow into full-size tanks. It is adorable and silly, and only the Japanese would run with such an idea. That is probably true. No. Well, almost last super chat. Trogan, for another $100. Thank you very much, sir. You are incredibly generous. Incredibly generous, Trogan. Okay, let's get this Powell Smasher Pass funded. Now, chat, you decide. Should the next one be related to Xenos or ponies? You decide on epic arch battles of history.
I'd rather have Xenos than ponies, I'm gonna be real.
Well, now that they're making a new My Little Pony show, chat, you've got to fund a watch-along of My Little Pony, so we can all watch My Little Pony together. We'll organize that in our Discord. We'll just sit there and watch My Little Pony, like the little pony friends we are, and then we can smash or pass them as they're presented.
What the hell?
Floofer, Malcolm Collins, one of Leaf's friends. He's a living, unironic AdMech priest. And Renos, tell Ember about the Vampire RP. Luminous ones. We have a Vampire RP. We play Nazi vampires in it. It's very wholesome.
It is fun. And
It
the
is.
next episode is tomorrow.
I don't know. I'm still partial to Vampire the Masquerade myself.
That is the system we're using, Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, you're using the World of Darkness system. Okay.
Yes, there's a couple of additions here and there to make some of the weirder rules a little bit more sensible.
Right.
You ignorant slut.
It's been going quite well so far. I just need to get the players out of Berlin, because they've been stuck there for too long now.
You need to railroad us more, Arch. Or maybe we should just stick to a gun and just point guns at people and threaten them to do what we want.
You heard it here, chat. Atari was asking to be railed.
The fucking levels, Arch go.
And Black 1917 says, I vote ponies. Of course you do.
Question. Fire is the answer.
Marine Alpha, vote
We have
Xenos.
correction votes. The correction votes, thank you.
Always ponies, chat. I know you like ponies. We all like ponies here. We're all the friends of the ponies. The pony kind. Because somebody has to be on Team Pony. speaking of Team Pony chat, we have finally clopped our way through all of the super chats. They've all been clopped adequately and effectively. Which means, until tomorrow's RP, I will bid you all adieu, where we will have another RP session tomorrow, where the players will finally fight their way out of Berlin. Or get killed. One out of fucking two. They're working hard towards the second one. Porkis is already in a coma, and the only way to resurrect her is going to be to rape a corpse and sew dicks to it. So.
What? God, without any context, this is so
Listen, that's what the magical ritual calls for. Sew dicks onto a corpse and then fuck it. I didn't make the rules.
Oh, God. And I think we're gonna let Porkis wait a few days, I believe.
Until then, chat, you will have a very good day, and you must come watch the Vampire RP if you want to understand the context of that. So, Ember, thank you very much for coming on today.
Well, thank you so very much for having me. This was a wonderful time.
It was a wonderful time, wasn't it? And thank you, Atari, for popping by as well. Maybe we'll raid your stream next time you're doing something homosexual.
I'm gonna make sure to not stream anything sus while you're streaming, Arch.
We shall see
I'll
about
take
that.
note. Unfortunately, I've shock collars when I do it, and chat loves to use them when people raid into me for some reason.
For some reason, indeed. Have a very good night, chat. Thank you for your generous donations, and don't let the bedbug bite. Or the femboys. They bite too.